All
What
right,
is
man.
up?
We're here. We live.
We live, dog.
Feels weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm excited. This is our first kind of weekly stream. We want to start doing this weekly, talking movies. We have lots to talk about because we don't know how to shut the fuck up ever.
Correctamundo.
That's why it takes so long to edit our episodes.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. So I guess if you're tuning in now and you haven't heard our podcast, feel free to check that out at any time you'd like. It's a
Right.
little more structured here. I think we just want to hang out. We want to talk to the chat. We want to talk to each other. We have lots of thoughts on lots of things.
Yes.
Right.
We have too many thoughts on all
Yeah.
of the things.
We do. Well, we have too many thoughts, I think, in general. Just
Yes.
we should shut that shit down as soon as possible.
I agree, 100%.
Well, grab a drink. I don't know if you're drinking anything, Dave.
No, I didn't hydrate enough today, so I'm drinking body armor.
Oh, responsible of you. I like that. Hawk Rules 13. Is that? Yes. Hey, mi madre. What's up?
Oh, is that Wendy?
Yeah, Wendy's up in the chat, hanging out.
What's
Appreciate
up,
you being
Wendy?
So I guess, listen, I want to get into some movies, but like,
Absolutely.
I want to keep them kind of spoiler free. I don't know if people have seen all these things, even though the first movie I think we're going to talk about, Top Gun Maverick,
Yes.
has been seen by everybody in America, maybe twice.
I would say at least twice, potentially.
I don't know if also, I guess this is on theme. I don't know if anybody can hear the helicopter right outside my apartment, but Tom Cruise is like, he's like, you better have good shit to say about me.
He's listening right now to us.
I'm shutting this shit down. I'm gonna Tom Cruise the fuck out of you.
He's gonna knock on your window real fast. Do his Oprah laugh.
As long as lightning comes out of his eyes, I don't give a shit. He can do whatever. Fine. Lord. I didn't get to see this movie in IMAX. Everybody's like, see it in IMAX, the biggest screen possible.
Oh, I didn't.
And I have to say, well, I'm glad I didn't, because my ass would have vomited like a lot very quickly. Yeah. It was cool. So like, I like this movie. I just want to be very upfront here. I really liked this movie. Maybe a hot take. I like this better than the original.
Oh, I agree 100%. I don't care if it's a hot take or not. I think it was way better.
It's more cohesive, like hands down more cohesive. Yeah. The obviously the cinematography, were whatever 20, 30 almost years later.
Yeah. It's
probably over 30 years.
It's over 30 years because it came out in what, like 88, 86?
Yeah, maybe. That sounds about sure. It came out in the 80s. I know that much.
Right. But I think I know it's older than me, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's definitely older than me. And this is one of those movies too that I was on TV all the time. Yeah. And so I grew up like watching in the summers and stuff. And I was like, cool, fine, planes and stuff. I guess erotic beach scenes with lots of dudes. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie, but I will say, like, the technology, like, and they filmed a lot of the stuff practically, right? But the technology to like mount cameras and shit and fly around and everything really did favors for this movie.
Oh, I agree. And the fact that they actually let Tom Cruise in some jets to fly, that was even more impressive. I mean, it's risky. Tom Cruise, so yeah. But they did say, like, yeah, we will let you in the jets for filming this movie, so long as you do not touch anything.
Wait, was that an actual stipulation?
Yes, because he's a pilot. So like, that they were just like, listen, you can't touch anything because we know you're gonna.
Yeah, you're Tom Cruise and all, but like also you're just Tom Cruise, not
a fighter pilot.
Exactly. We have rules here. And it was interesting. It was great to see all that stuff. And what was also really nice to see was Val Kilmer. Because they used I think they used technology. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm like saying shit I don't know about, but they used some like AI, and I think they used his son's voice and stuff as well to help him speak. That was cool. It was nice to see him. There.
It was fun. I had no idea that there was anything wrong with him. I thought he just quit acting.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know his exact disease, but I think it's like a degenerative thing. And he can't really speak anymore. Okay. Right. Yeah. So it was nice to see him up in here and, doing his thing. They kind of reconnect. And the story was actually good. I think the story was better than the first one too. It's actually like moving towards something. I feel like the first one was just kind of meandering Like,
yeah, I gotta say, I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I've seen it obviously since. I don't remember, what was the mission. Was there ever a mission in the first one?
their mission was to be really fucking cool and fly some planes and stuff. I'm almost certain that was the mission. I can't remember. I probably should have rewatched it.
I don't think that I should have rewatched it beforehand too, but I don't think there was a mission in the first one. So I thought I really appreciated that there was like an actual mission that we were walked through.
Yeah.
In this one.
No, it's true, because like the first one just didn't really have much of a plot. It was just like things happening, and okay, here's the chat. Help us out, chat.
Yeah.
Wendy, the MiGs, and I think Jordan said it was a pop-up mission out of the blue.
Talk about the first one?
I guess so. Yeah, maybe, sure. Stuff happened in it. I can definitely vouch for that.
They said it was actually Goose's piano lessons gone wrong. Fucking rip.
Yeah.
Rip on Goose.
So I guess what's for anybody who, I guess for the 3 people who were in the hospital during the entire run of this movie, right. If you want to give them the rundown of what Top Gun Maverick's about.
Yeah, so basically Top Gun Maverick is the follow-up, whatever, 30 some odd years later from the original Top Gun, and we do follow Pete, whatever the fuck his name is, Pete Mitchell, there it is. Pete Maverick Mitchell, in his like post Top Gun Academy career. And he's as he thinks he's invited back, but they said it's called orders, Maverick, to come back to Top Gun. And they initially didn't want him to like teach, but then he's like, I gotta teach. And then they're like, there's no way you're gonna be on the crew. And then all of a sudden he's like, I have to be on the crew for this mission.
Yeah, it's like a very specific mission where they have to like drop, like go up a mountain, go down the mountain, drop a bomb, blow it up, and get out of there before the other fighter, the enemy fire gets them and stuff, right? And so whatever. it was thrilling, I gotta say. It was thrilling. And it wasn't very, like, you know, I kind of expected the traditional plot structure, but there's lots of twists and turns that it took us through, and I appreciated it. It was good. It was good storytelling.
Yeah, and there was a lot of fan servicey moments, and I didn't mind at all because I was a fan. So,
well, listen, if we're getting into criticisms here,
no, I thought that was a good thing. You didn't like it.
I liked some stuff. So I have to, when the movie kicks off, it's like, dun, 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 dun. It's like, you know, and there's like, it's like, you know, it's the fighter jets and like the American flag and all this stuff. And it's just like, you know, even me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm here for this. You know, the Kenny Loggins is fucking blasting. And I'm sitting in my theater. I saw it like Father's Day weekend. So every dad in Los Angeles was in my theater with me.
Sure, of course.
And everybody's wearing their loafers and tapping their feet. Like, yes, okay, yeah. I was in my 20s once, and it was great. But it kind of stretched on a little bit. It kind of stretched on. There's a lot of things. No, the nostalgia baity stuff. I was fine with the intro, and then we kind of keep going. We kind of get going, and I was like, is this going to be one of those movies where it's like, hey, remember this? Do you remember this? Hey, do you remember this? Here's a little bit of this. Here's some other stuff, and it was kind of like that, but
it was very much like that. Yeah,
but I enjoyed some parts of it. One thing I also noticed that and I don't think this is a spoiler, but Tom Cruise's character, and I think this is because of Tom Cruise himself. This is where our stream gets shut down, by the way. I don't think in the past 10 years Tom Cruise has allowed himself to have his characters to have any character flaws.
No, of course not.
And any character flaw that like they like kind of bring up in the beginning of the movie, they show the other side of that where it's just Tom Cruise being like altruistic. You know?
Yeah.
I do have a problem with that. Because it's like whatever, it's not a major problem. It's a good movie. I'm not like here to shit on this thing completely, because it is a good movie. It was thrilling, it was fun. But I'm like, this guy is just like, he's so fucking cool. He's not gonna take the cushy jobs. He just wants to fly planes and stuff. and nobody's gonna stop him, damn it. Even the army, like they're not gonna, he's gonna fly regardless. And And so I was like, okay. And then even the stuff where he's being a dickhead to Miles Teller's character,
yeah,
again, no spoilers here, Rooster. We find out the backstory. It's just because Tom Cruise is he's just a good guy.
He's
just
such a good guy that he's being a dick because someone asked him to.
Yeah. it's true. And I'm like, dude, fine, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I will say I did hear other complaints. This did not bother me, but the people I saw the movie with, there's a Lady Gaga song, I guess maybe an original Lady Gaga song that played as like the credits hit or like over the last sequence or something. I didn't A, notice it, or B, give a fuck. But people are like, oh, that song just ruined it. This song just absolutely ruined the ending. And I'm like, I don't know. For me, it didn't bother me. I didn't actually even notice it. But lots of people, I say maybe not lots, but multiple people have mentioned to me that it ruined the ending for them.
What the fuck? Like, okay, those are the fragile fucking people. Like, if it's not fucking guitars in America, then fuck it. I don't want it during Top Gun. As if they forgot the original one had that fucking like really don't watch this with your parents love scene.
Yeah, right.
Where it's like and they emulated it a little bit in this one where it's like really close up and really like soft music and
yeah.
Like, come on now.
I do have to say, I don't know, chat, feel free to weigh in on this. Yes, but I was also a little confused because I didn't watch the original before I watched Top Gun Maverick. And I'm sitting there, I was like, Jennifer Connelly was not in the original. No, and it felt like they were treating her character like we should have known all this stuff about her. Right. And so half the movie, I was like, where did she come from? Like, did I miss some supplemental material before I went into this movie? What's going on? Like, I feel like I should know what's going on. And I don't know, like, I don't know. It was handled fine. But that was also another thing that threw me off. Because I think when we initially talked about it, and Jordan in the chat, no breaths were taken away.
No, none.
Unfortunately, I was waiting for that Berlin song to just, that would have been nostalgia baity directly into my heart. But
it's funny you said that because I definitely, when Jennifer Connelly's character came on screen, I was like, that's not the same woman, is it? No. And then when I don't think he. Well, I know Top Gun. I'm sorry. I know Maverick Mitchell didn't dump her, but I think Tom Cruise definitely dumped the.
Well, Kelly McGillis. What was her name in the original?
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
Terrible.
I don't
terrible. Know. I think she was like, listen, I can't live with this super, super nice guy who's super altruistic and has zero character flaws. I can't handle this. You're too perfect, Tom Cruise. I have to move on.
Right. Lord. That's for sure what happened. Absolutely. It wasn't for any reason at all that Kelly McGillis definitely aged like a normal human being does.
Right.
And not like someone like Tom Cruise does. So it has nothing to do with that at all.
I'm not saying Tom Cruise sold his soul to the literal devil, but he just turned 60 like a few days ago.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, 60 years old. Oh man, I'm glad the chat doesn't remember Kelly McGillis's character's name either. But yeah, he literally turned 60 fucking years old this year. So so I'm just saying sold his soul to the devil. I'm not saying it's a fact, but it's probably a fact that you can bank on.
Probably.
I
mean, why not?
It's just again, like whatever. We're goofing around, but it was a good movie. It was thrilling. Again, I'm glad I didn't see it in IMAX. Not enough barf bags in the world. But and Miles Teller was really great in it too. We haven't really mentioned him either. Like the young group of kids who are in this. Yeah, really great. I enjoyed them. Great actors.
Yeah, I agree. And I saw like a little like an interview with Miles Teller, and he obviously was talking about the scenes where they were doing that like really hard like extreme G pull, and remember in the movie, he was having trouble breathing as you would. And he was showing them how he did it as an actor on the interview. And it looked exactly like in the movie. And everyone was like, I'm like, yo, that's incredible.
It's impressive. It's impressive. Yeah. I mean, even like the peripheral people, I don't know everybody's names, but Bill Pullman's son played Bob.
Oh, Bob. I love that his fucking call sign was Bob.
It's so funny, and like he played it perfectly because he's also in a show on Amazon called Outer Range, where he plays like a more kind of like a gruff, like bull riding guy, a ranch, you know, a son of like a rancher and stuff, and he's like a gruff like Wyoming guy.
Oh,
and and he sells it in that show, and then in this he absolutely sells this kind of like dorky, kind of nerdy character, and I was like, this dude is such a good actor, like. Yeah. I was deeply impressed by the whole cast. Like everybody's pitch perfect. Ed Harris was great in it as well.
Yes.
What's his name? John Hamm.
John Hamm crushed it.
He was like the straight man, you know?
Yes.
Hilarious, but also pretty intense.
Like, I agree. I think I forget what it was, but I know there was a point where he did something on screen that made me like bust out laughing in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, he's so good. Thanks for the chat. Ranch hand. That's the phrase I was looking for. my brain stroked out a little bit.
Assistant to the regional manager of the ranch.
Totally. Oh, I'm like, yeah, I think somebody brought it up to me. I can't remember who because my brain sucks. But sure. Somebody brought it up to me like, oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait for a sequel. And I was like, there better not be a sequel to this movie.
Wait, hang on. It is a sequel. You can't do a sequel to the sequel.
I mean, you can if you hate your audience and you just want money. I don't think Tom Cruise would be involved in this. And I hope not.
No,
I don't want a sequel to this thing.
Listen, there is no way in hell Tom Cruise would do more than one action movie in a series to make money. Sorry. I'm incorrect.
It's not about the money, Dave. It's about being the nicest guy in the entire world. Period.
Well, no, it's also about being a badass. That's why there's Mission Impossible 19 coming out soon.
It makes sense. It tracks. And
they do need to change the name of that movie series to Mission Probable.
Mission can probably happen. Yeah. Mission all right with me.
Yeah.
It's I know I saw the trailer for that played before Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna make these until Tom Cruise's corpse is just attached to a bunch of sticks.
They're gonna Weekend at Bernie's.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Yeah, probably. Well, I will say that the original Top Gun made me like a huge like fighter jet fan, you know.
Okay.
I even had toys like F-18, F-16, F-14, like toys.
Okay.
And so getting to see these jets making these ridiculous maneuvers and stuff like on screen, I was like, yes.
I you know what, I thought they were gonna do this too in terms of this arc. I was a little like this much nervous about it when they have the whole sequence. Again, this is not a spoiler. Don't be pissed at me. Mm-hmm. But when there's like the training montage, of Maverick teaching the new flight people how to do stuff.
Yeah.
He's like he's better than everybody because he's
Tom Cruise.
He is.
It's Tom Cruise.
But I thought for a second, I was like, is this going to be one of those things where it's like these young bucks are too lazy. They don't know anything. Us old people are the only ones who can handle this situation. And I was like nervous it was going to go that way. I was like, is this? But it didn't. It didn't. They handled it very nicely.
Nope. There goes my light.
Rip. Dave's falling apart at the seams over here.
I can't have anything nice. I apologize.
Stream canceled. Shut it down, Jordan.
Damn it. That was the shortest stream ever. Sorry, chat.
Oh no. Okay. The shutdown mod is up in the chat. He does not deal with this very well.
Well, deal with it, Jordan.
I don't know if I have too much more to say about Top Gun, but I would say if you're interested, go see it. It's a good movie. It's a solid film.
I mean, there's a reason why it's the top grossing film of 2022.
Yeah, it's made like $1 billion.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. But again, at least it was on a warranted film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I think it deserves it for sure. And also, I really enjoyed the maneuvers that these pilots were making, and I know there was a lot of practical effects in it.
Oh, to its absolute betterment.
Right, 100%. And there's one that it's not a spoiler, so nobody can yell at me. That's in the trailer where there's that blackbird looking like super jet that flies over Ed Harris's character and blows the roof off of that building.
That was cool.
That actually happened, and they just kept the take because it looked so awesome.
I'm sure you could they probably only had 1 or 2 takes that they were able to do in that time frame. Yeah. But that was really funny. There's some good laughs in this movie too.
Yeah, I agree.
It's good stuff. It's not like the best movie of all time, but it's definitely great, entertaining, well crafted movie stuff that doesn't happen all the time.
It makes me kind of it makes me feel kind of weird to like enjoy a Tom Cruise movie.
I get it. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. And
no,
I don't know if I've made that abundantly clear so far. I'm not a huge fan of his work. He does great work. I love him in a lot of movies. Like I don't know if you've ever seen Magnolia, the Paul Thomas Anderson film. He's great in it. He's great in a lot of stuff. But I'm just like not a fan of him specifically. But he was good in this. As the chat only had 1 or 2 buildings too. Oh, for the
flyover scene,
yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, whatever. It's good popcorn fun, but also there's substantial stuff to it that made me feel good.
Oh, I agree. So, I liked it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But we saw some other stuff as well recently. We saw a movie. Both of us saw a movie called The Black Phone.
That was.
I did a quick little like review on our socials or whatever. Yeah. But this is an interesting movie. It was a lot of hype coming out of like the festival circuit and stuff.
Oh, the festival circuit.
So Scott Derrickson directed it, who's a director I really enjoy, but also it's based on a story by Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son, who's a really great, he's a great writer in his own right. But I kind of already mentioned my stuff. I enjoyed the movie overall, but what did you think? We have literally not talked about this yet.
No, we haven't.
Dying to talk about this.
Listen, I went based on your little review, and I'm pretty sure you told me that you didn't think I was gonna like it.
Yeah.
I kind of fucking loved it actually.
Yeah.
It was intense and creepy and tonally. I'm trying to think. It had this like nice gritty tone, but it wasn't too heavy.
I feel that. Well, so it's set the story of this thing is basically it's like a small town in middle America, right? And there's it's these 2 kids and their drunk father who hits them. So it's these kids, but in the area, kids have been going missing, and they call this guy so eloquently the grabber. The grabber. Every time I do the hands, it's a thing. It's weird. I shouldn't do that actually.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
I'm glad we're on stream. That it's gonna be recorded that the grabber. Anyway, so kids are worried about the grabber. So essentially of course our main character gets grabbed and brought into a basement, and he's like being held hostage or being held captive rather. And there's a black phone on the wall, the titular black phone, and it's not connected to anything. This is all in the trailer. Don't come at me for this. But the phone starts ringing, and he starts saying, so he's trying to figure out a way out. And then his sister has like these dreams and visions of things that have happened or will happen. So there's a whole supernatural element to this that wasn't really played much in the trailers. I try to avoid advertising when I go see movies as much as I can. I want to go into movies cold, but I really bought into the hype for this movie. Lots of people are talking about it. So I really love the concept.
Yeah, I did as well. I was worried when I figured out that it was, a movie about like a kidnapper.
Yeah.
The
child
predator. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, but they played it pretty well. There was no like crossing of lines that I thought was brilliant.
It was handled well.
Yeah, it was handled perfectly, I think. I don't think they pushed it just as far as is comfortable. They could have pushed it further if they wanted.
Yeah.
But it was comfortable. It was a comfortable level of pushing for this movie.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's more of a mystery. Like it kind of got billed as like this is like a terrifying horror Blumhouse horror film that like but it's not really, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was an actual horror film. It felt like kind of like a mystery, supernatural stuff. But the supernatural stuff was, I think, the strongest in this movie, hands down.
I agree with that. I agree.
Like those concepts, I think, were great. The set design, you kind of mentioned the grittiness of it. It's set in the like late 70s or
Something
early
like
80s.
I think it's 70s.
Okay, something like that. But it looks great. The set design is awesome. It felt lived in, very much so.
I agree.
And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But man, that hype, and I try not to do this. I've done this with a handful of other films, and they let me down spectacularly. And I didn't want to, but I was like, I got to go see this thing. And I went and saw it alone on like a Monday at 1 p.m. And so it's like me and like somebody with her like 6-year-old child in the theater, which not a good idea. I'm not one to tell you how to parent, but this poor child
oh my God,
feeling it. Feeling it. So I kind of saw it in my own little bubble without really any reactions from anybody.
And I saw it with Pete. Like when I bought my ticket, I was the only one who was in the theater. But then when I showed up, it was I would say like a quarter of the way to a third of the way full. Excuse me. And I sat next to these probably like late teens, early 20s kids, and they were definitely scared. Like there's definitely like a lot of like towards the end when it was starting to get pretty creepy. And there was a couple of times they had some, I don't want to call them jump scares, but they had a couple of times that made me literally, oh Jesus.
There was definitely there. I think there was like literally 2 times I was like, whoa, fuck. And maybe I'm jaded. I don't know. Chat, feel free to weigh in here. I don't know if anybody's heard about this movie or anything like that, but I watched a lot of horror films. I was obsessed with horror films from a very young age. And so I'm like a little jaded. And so that's why my tastes tend to skew weirder and weirder the older I get.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it like this normal stuff doesn't really shock me or scare me as much. There's some great moments in this for sure, but it felt more of just like a mystery, like thriller escape kind of movie. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad take, but
I don't want to say it's a bad take. I will say it's probably a wrong take.
That's fine.
But because I thought it was I wouldn't say horror, but it definitely was a scary movie. Like it was scary, creepy, it was unsettling.
Yeah.
And it definitely got your heart going, during some of the more tense moments. So
I would agree with the like kind of got my heart racing a little bit. For sure. But also not in like the scared kind of thing. It's just more the thriller nature of the movie is like, like anticipatory kind of things. Which I give it credit for. They did a lot of really, really cool stuff. There's a lot of really great plot stuff that they did with this. Some like cool misdirections and everything. I really like that stuff. I have to say, oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this before, if anybody's gives a shit about this, but Ethan Hawke is the titular grabber.
Yes. You're gonna do that every time.
Every time. And he's great.
He's fantastic.
Great. But what I wanted from this movie they had this great setup with him, and he like wears this mask and stuff. Not that I want every explanation in the world, because I like mystery.
Yes.
But they have this thing, and he's like drives around this black magician's van. He leaves black balloons at the scene. They never talk about that shit ever again. It has nothing to do with anything later in the movie. We don't get a backstory from him. He has like this really, really interesting setup. And I'm like, and we never fucking talk about him.
I bet you they filmed it. And they had it in the script. And then when they watched it back, they're like, I mean, I think his backstory would have taken away from the pace, and it would have taken away from the tension.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that they should have stopped the movie in its tracks to be like, hey, but also this guy's backstory. Like, I think they could have built it into the world, because even like when we see him upstairs in his house and stuff, any of the things in his house that could, quick insert shots of something, or him doing something to give us more like insight into his world. Like, why go through all the trouble of just having him be like this like magician guy and have balloons and this whole theatrical thing just to do nothing with it? It could just be some guy in some overalls who just grabs kids off the street and stuffs them in his van. It could be anybody. Yeah. And they had this purposeful setup to do all these like interesting things with them, and it never fucking paid off.
Well, they had, either way, they had to have him as like a clown / magician type person, because in the 70s that was entertaining to kids.
Yeah, I was entertained in the 70s by clowns and magicians.
Yeah, totally. Same here. But but like that was like a thing that it kind of eased kids like by being approached by these things, because like, oh, cool, yeah, that's cool. Whereas to now, I would say most people, even in our generation, but especially like the generation after us,
yeah,
they see a clown in the distance. They're like, fucking out.
run. Okay, not to single anybody out here in the chat, but I'm gonna need Wendy to weigh in on this. Were clowns ever not creepy?
Oh yeah,
because I need some insight in this. If my ass sees a clown in the middle of the day in a crowded place, I'm still getting the fuck out of there as fast as possible. No, that's what I say. No.
I mean, clowns. Listen,
magicians. I don't even like magicians. They freak me out. Whatever.
I mean, I don't like either, but I'm not scared by clowns. Like, I know a lot of people have that phobia. I don't remember what it's called, but clownophobia. And
yeah.
And like, I get it. I can see why it would be scary, but to me, it's just kind of like, Wendy said never, always creepy. Okay. Well,
okay, good.
Cool.
That's canon.
Fuck me then. All right. I just never been, even the movie It, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not, that doesn't bother me.
So yeah, I guess for me too. So I when I think of creepy clowns, there was a thing. This might have been 10-ish years ago.
Thanks, Wendy. Love you too.
There's this thing. I don't know if you remember this. There's like on the internet, people dressing up as clowns, like standing in the like edges of the woods.
Oh, I thought that was. There's the thing. Everybody thought that was creepy. Everybody thought that was weird. I thought it was hilarious.
It's. Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, yes, it's funny. Like watching videos on the internet of people like losing their fucking minds, and like the idea of somebody like, I'm gonna go through the thought process. I'm gonna get some clown makeup. I'm gonna get a clown suit. I'm gonna wait till like 11:30 midnight and just stand in the woods somewhere, knowing that somebody's probably gonna pass by. Like you have to do this for hours until maybe somebody's gonna walk by, but it's gonna scare them to death for the rest of their fucking lives.
Oh, for sure.
That takes a forethought and planning and a sadistic kind of mind that I'm not sure I'm personally capable of, but I can watch on the internet and enjoy in the comfort of my own home.
Listen, there was this one where this guy would dress up as a clown. He'd always have somebody in on it with him, and he would like chase them through like a parking garage as people were coming out, and then he would have this giant mallet or like sledgehammer or something. And then he would catch them from just behind a wall where you could still see him and see him swinging and hear the people like screaming and then like drop and then like see their legs. And then he would turn because every time the people walking would be like, and he would turn. And then the second he turned, boom, they would take off running.
Dude, yeah, no, that's a no for me. I guess that's how to like break through by jaded horror media things. Like you have to just do that shit to me in real life.
Right.
And then I'll kind of break through this this sense of safety maybe I have. like really fuck me up a little bit. Not too far. That's not an invitation. Yeah. Actually, I probably should not have said that.
Too late. It's out there
on the internet. So cool.
Forever ingrained.
Very cool.
Super.
But I do have to say there's other issues I have with this movie. Okay. So first being,
let's hear it.
And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to just shit on children actors. There's some clunky ass child acting in this. Inconsistent child acting.
I remember you saying that in your little review, and I honestly did. I actually borderline liked it because I think it kind of added to the unease of the movie.
It took me out of it because it felt like a theater kid. Like it felt like theater kids. You know, because there was a lot of like theater acting and very like dramatic stuff, and they kind of they give the sister who has of the sister of the kid who gets abducted,
yes,
by the grabber. She has these like dreams and visions and stuff, which she can whatever she sees things. I'm not going to say more. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But she's great in certain scenes, but there's other scenes where I'm like, honey, just dial it back a little bit. It feels like very theater. She's really great in some scenes. I'm not saying she's terrible all the way through. Great in some scenes, just needs to dial it back in some other things. It could have used a little more work and a little more like direction-y things, because they do this weird comedy thing with her too, which also I'm fine with some comedy in horror films, but when she prays and stuff to Jesus, but she also talks shit to Jesus.
Oh yeah, that shit was
and stuff.
Funny.
It was funny, but it was a little jarring. Anyway, but it also could have to do with some of the clunky dialogue they wrote for these kids to say.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
that's another thing that could have been a factor. There's some clunky ass dialogue in this, but short of that, my last real grievance, excuse me, with this, which isn't actually that big of a deal, or that big of a grievance. It's minor. But one thing that kind of threw me off and took me out of the intensity is, again, not a spoiler, but towards the end, that black phone on the wall, they do this weird VFX thing where it kind of like shrinks and moves, on the wall.
It's breathing.
Yeah, but I hate it. And it looked dumb.
Listen, I thought it added to the creepiness, but it didn't make sense because of the way because they do it in the trailer. It's not like a thing that's going to spoil anything, but they make it seem like it's like a living, breathing entity. When the way that they use it, it's not.
It's not. That's the thing. It didn't make sense to me. If they had set this thing up or something, like the effect looked weird, but it kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm like, what? Why? What are you doing? And so that bothered me way more than it actually should, and I'm willing to admit that. But it's still sitting basically alone in a theater with a 9-year-old and some lady. I was like, come on. Come on. I don't know. Overall, pulling myself away from the hype beast that sucked me in originally, I do think it is a solid film. I think it's entertaining. That's all I really want out of movies. I want them to be entertaining. But I just was very disappointed because I stupidly bought into that hype, and it just did. I was expecting this like horrifying nightmare, and it just wasn't. It left me wanting a lot more.
Well, I think it's I think it wasn't as scary as you wanted it to be because you did pay too much attention to it. I think scary movies are the kinds of movies that you can't buy into the hype too much.
Truly.
But I remember reading an article, or part of an article at the very least, that talked about I forget what the bias is called, but like when you see like the trailer and like things get not necessarily spoiled, But excuse me, sorry. But like, for instance, in Marvel movies, they in one of the trailers they revealed Spider-Man,
right?
And nobody knew Spider-Man was going to be in that particular movie, and
Okay.
everyone freaked out like, yeah. And the thing that the article said was that in certain situations, knowing what's going to happen in the movie to a degree actually enhances the experience.
I fucking disagree in the most in the biggest sense that I can disagree with you. I fucking hate that idea. I don't know. So for me, this is subjective as fuck. I know. Listen,
100%.
It's very subjective. People like to experience media in different ways. Me, no. Fuck that shit. I want to go in as cold as humanly possible. If I see like a billboard or something for a movie that like looks good or looks entertaining, I'm like, cool. I will like shut out all advertisement or anything for this movie because I want to go in cold as possible. It just really, I feel like I can experience it more. And when I have all these expectations, just like with the fucking black phone we're experiencing right now, I went in with all this hype and I was like, it would have been better if I didn't know shit about it or didn't hear anything about it. It would have been a lot, but I would have enjoyed it a lot fucking more. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
To be clear, it's not my opinion, it's the article's opinion. I did not.
Fuck that article. Fuck who wrote it. I'm just kidding. I don't know that person. But also fuck you for bringing it up, Dave. This is your fault entirely.
Oh,
and there's no one else I can blame.
Well, you could blame the article, but that's fine. So
I don't believe this article exists until you send it to me.
I was about to be like, fuck it, I'm Googling it, but
like, Jordan Jordan in the chat just wanted to let us know he saw that Justin Bieber was going to die on a CSI episode, so he had to watch that.
I do remember that. I do remember that. And I was like, oh shit.
So there's a difference. Like that's a celebrity, I guess, like coming, it's like, oh, a celebrity I like or whatever gonna be on this thing that I don't watch often. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
For me, if it's a singular piece of work by whoever, if it's something that looks interesting, I'm gonna go in cold. I usually don't see things because certain people are necessarily in it, although it might help. I see a lot of things by certain directors.
Yeah.
Even if like I'm not interested in the concept of the movie, I trust directors and artists. At least I try to.
Yeah.
That like I like their vision, I like their style or whatever. So I want to go see that movie, even if I might not be interested in the topic of the film.
Yeah, I'm not into the opposite, but like if I basically only watch movies or want to watch movies if I am interested in what the movie's about.
Well, I mean, yeah, me too. But I will go out of my way to watch different things by artists or directors or whatever that I respect.
No, see, I the only time I do that is when you make me.
And I do make you. I make you watch so much weird shit.
A lot, yeah.
And you, to your credit, I think we might have talked about this on another stream, but you've never complained to me.
No.
As much as you have a right to complain about some of the shit I put you through.
Facts.
Bless like, you, listen, child.
I'm open-minded in terms of movies. Well, a lot of things, but I'm not like gonna be like, I don't want to watch that fucking movie. I'm gonna go in and think, all right, cool, like let's see it. And most of the time, I am pleasantly surprised about how I liked it. Like honestly, based on what I saw of the trailer for even just the Black Phone, I was like, I have no urge to watch this at all.
Yeah,
zero. And then you said you watched it, and I was like, yeah, let's talk about it on the stream. I'll go see it. And I liked it. And so I think the first time, actually I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was The Thing. I don't remember. But the first time you said let's go see this movie, in my head I'm like, ooh, I don't know, that I don't want to see that. And then afterwards I was like, well, okay, great. I'm glad I went and saw that.
Dude, so we got to see The Thing. We saw I think the only existing 70 millimeter print of The Thing.
Yeah,
that exists to this day, which was a really, really cool experience. They call it, what do they call it? The pink print or the red print or something?
Yeah, I think it was the pink print.
It's like old and it's all fucked up, and it was like stored poorly, so it's like there's like this red tint over everything. And it took a minute to get used to, but once you're there, it actually really actually played well with the tone of the film and everything. It was really fun.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw. Oh yeah, there's a double feature that night because we also saw that is John Carpenter night. We saw
Yeah.
The Thing and Starman. Wendy Hawk, if you're in the chat, uh, with Jeff Bridges, Starman. Did you ever see that movie? Did you love
But
it? Did
you
you
know
hate
what?
it?
What's funny is that like I'm pretty sure most of the time we went, especially to that particular theater, it was double
Yeah.
features.
Oh yeah, because you came to the Oliver Stone thing with me too. And what do we see? Natural Born Killers and U-Turn, which I'd never seen U-Turn before. It was Sean Penn, and that was weird.
That was weird.
But I love Natural Born Killers, so that was fun. But we also saw Yorgos Lanthimos, double feature there. I don't think you were with me, but we saw Get Out with the cast and
I didn't see that for sure.
And director. That was fun. That was really fun.
That sounds like something I would have enjoyed, but no, I didn't.
Oh, it was a blast, dude. Catherine Keener was there. She was high for sure. She was definitely stoned. She like got lost in her sense and stuff. It was hilarious. So funny, dude. I love her so much. But yeah, that was fun, and I'm glad you're open to stuff. But and I'm glad you like the Black Phone. For me, I feel like I just need to watch it again, but removed, from some of the hype, and I feel like I would be a little more.
I think that you would because like it without giving too much away, it sets up the way it ends very well throughout.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the story is solid. I have to say this: the story and the writing itself is solid, but it's there's some clunky stuff in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's always gonna be clunky stuff when it comes to mainly child cast, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think that was charming to me.
I feel
the clunkiness was charming, and it kind of added to the tone, like I said earlier. And excuse me, I remember seeing some of the clunkiness immediately in one of the scenes. And I was like, oh, this is what Blake was talking about. Yeah. But I immediately also thought, I don't mind it. I don't I'm not taking out of it. And you know how I am with acting.
Yeah.
If there's shitty acting in it, I'm gonna point it out.
Right.
Because, I spent a few years, acting myself, and I saw a lot of really great actors in classes and stuff, and also saw a small number of bad actors, but that's neither here nor there. So like normally seeing acting that's even a little subpar, it gets me a little side-eyed,
Yeah.
But
no, I get it. It's one of those weird things, and it did have some of those like 70s like B movie vibes too at certain times.
Yeah, it did,
which I did think was fun. I love B movies. I really do. And so, but it just that tone was a little inconsistent for me, which is why some of the stuff pulled me out and whatever. I know it's nitpicky, whatever.
That's okay though.
But I can't help myself.
That's kind of what we do anyway. So like,
that's true. I can't turn that shit off. I mean, like, there's some movies where I could just go in and, cool, like be fine with it and just let it wash over me and like not think too much about it. But when I'm hyped up for a movie, I'm like really intense because I want to absorb every single little thing about it as much as I can. And this,
that's fair.
Whatever.
That's
take
fair.
it or leave it for me. Go see it if you're in the mood.
I think I recommend it for sure. Anybody in the chat, I recommend seeing it for sure. I think that this movie probably could have done a lot better if it was released in the fall.
Oh, I totally agree. It's kind of a random ass time to release a movie like this.
100%.
And but I'm sure they have their schedule set up for fall, which is I mean, well, speaking of the fall, I mean, it would have to compete with stuff like there's like a new Halloween movie. Halloween Ends, which in my opinion cannot end soon enough. You could just end it now.
Also, we'll see if it actually ends.
I don't trust anything. No. I don't trust anything. Okay, I guess if we're opening this up, it's a recommend on the Black Phone for Dave. And it's if you're in the mood for something supernatural, mysterious, with the great Ethan Hawke performance, go see it. Whatever. It's fine. It's entertaining.
I think it's a good creepy movie.
Fair. Yeah, that's a fair assessment, I think. But I do have to know if anybody in the chat, anybody watching this is like really into the Halloween series. We just, on our last episode of the podcast, we talked about a Halloween installment.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did, Dave, didn't we? We fucking did, didn't we? Which one do we talk about, Dave?
We talked about 2007 Rob Zombie Halloween.
Yes, we fucking did. We really did. And you know what? We competed that. We matched that up with Scream 1996, the original Scream. Do you have a, sorry, you're a little delayed here on the Zoom.
Yeah, you kind of glitched out for a second.
Well, that happens to me. But Dave, yeah, if you want to get into that minutia, please go listen to the episode. It's a fucking nightmare.
I think it's a brilliant episode.
It's a fun time for somebody, I'm sure. Not for me. Bad times all around.
Most of the time.
Top to bottom, fucking misery. But whatever. But I like whatever. I like the Halloween. I was gonna say I like the Halloween franchise, but like, let's be real. I don't actually like the Halloween franchise.
No,
I like the original Halloween, and this also might be a hot take. I like Halloween 2. I do, and it gets shit on because it's not great, but it scared the piss out of me when I was a kid. The because it takes place in a hospital, and like same night as the original Halloween, and Laurie Strode is in the hospital, and she's trying to get away from Michael Myers in the hospital, and the hospital stuff scared the piss out of me.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Halloween 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers. I don't know if you knew this. It's called Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It's a completely different storyline, nothing to do with Michael Myers. But you're groaning. I didn't hear it, but I just felt your groan.
Yeah.
I thought that was a smart move because they were trying to do this anthology thing with Halloween, where it's like movies that have the theme of Halloween time or whatever. And it was a great idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It did not. It didn't work out because people were like, where's the Michael Myers guy?
Wendy said, I like number 2 if anyone cares.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it.
Wendy, we care. We care.
I care. I probably saw that movie. Actually, I guarantee I saw that movie for the first time with you. So
I don't care about any of the shut up, Jordan. I don't care about any of the Halloween movies at all, or even the Scream movies. I don't care about Jason or Freddy. I don't care about none of them.
Yeah,
but I do care about Wendy's opinion.
Hey, it's tried and true. True.
Agreed.
I'm just saying. But like, listen, I've given them all a chance, and they used to play like 4 and 5. One of them, on TV and stuff in the summer. I saw a lot of things on TV in the summer.
Sure.
But I saw a lot about that. Freddy vs. Jason. Sorry, Jordan in the chat asking about Freddy vs. Jason.
Don't care.
I did see it. I did see it.
I will never see it.
I saw one of the endings. So what they did with Freddy vs. Jason, they put it in theaters with different endings. Different theaters would show different endings. So, you see it multiple times and see how it works out. I snuck into Freddy vs. Jason when I was like, whenever it came out, like 2002 or 3 or something. I know, it's crazy. I snuck into an empty theater, from an empty theater to an empty theater.
Of course you
did. To see it. And, it sucked. But it was like being younger and being in like really into horror movies. I'm like, okay. Sure. Let's, whatever. Sure. I guess. This is fine.
I'm not gonna.
I haven't seen it since. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen it since. But in terms of the actual Halloween movies, though, I think it's 1, fine. 2, 3, I recommend you watch it. Go see Season of the Witch. It's really goofy and fun, and I recommend actually seeing that movie. And then whatever, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. Halloween Resurrection, Dave, with Busta Rhymes.
Can't.
My favorite Halloween.
Won't.
That man has one-liners for days.
For sure.
They give Busta Rhymes all the best dialogue. Just saying. Oh, Dabs of Goku. Hey,
Sorry.
what's up? Welcome to the
I
stream.
believe is that Josh? Josh, is that you? I would imagine, based on everything I know about Josh.
Well, give us your thoughts on the Halloween franchise. I think Halloween Resurrection, starring Buster Rhymes and Tyra Banks, is my favorite Halloween.
I just can't. I just can't. I don't like
So
like
good.
any of them. No, I don't care for horror movies in general, and I know that's a hot take.
That's fine. I mean, I get it, but
see, there you go. Josh loves Halloween.
okay, Josh, in the chat, what's your favorite Halloween? I need to know this because if it's not Halloween Resurrection starring Buster Rhymes and Tyra Banks, it's the wrong. It's the wrong Halloween. I'm just saying it. So the concept, by the way, I don't know. I know you've never seen this movie. The concept of Halloween Resurrection, it came out like 2002, and it's a web show where they go to they put a bunch of, it's a reality web show, and they put a bunch of teenagers or early 20 somethings into the Michael Myers house, and they like attach cameras into it. The real Michael Myers shows up and starts killing people. It's great. It's so bad. Have some drinks and get some friends together and watch that movie. It's a real fun time.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good like watch with your friends and laugh movie.
Yeah.
Based on that. It feels like a scary movie, like a series in the scary movie series, but like they didn't realize it was one.
It's like the concept of a bad SNL sketch for sure. For sure. And they play it so straight face. It makes me smile. And I love it. Because there's also Halloween H2O before that. Which wasn't great.
What?
Yeah.
H2O.
I think that was 90 Halloween 20 years later, which I think came out in like 98 or 99.
I was like, what, Halloween does it take place in water?
The molecular version of Halloween.
Oh Lord.
Terrible joke. But no, whatever is goofy, but Halloween Resurrection is peak Halloween goofiness. I don't know. I think
wait, Halloween 2 in 09?
Oh yeah, that's the Rob Zombie Halloween 2. Dave.
Wait, Josh, you like Rob Zombie 2? Rob Zombie Halloween 2?
Zombie 2 Electric Boogaloo. Listen. If you like it, that's fine. I don't know if I bothered to see the second Halloween.
No,
Rob Zombie Halloween.
I didn't see. I've literally the only like horror movies that I've seen from the the big horror franchises, Halloween, Scream, Freddy, I've literally only seen the Rob Zombie one, the original Scream, now thanks to the episode.
You're welcome.
And sure. And I think maybe one of the Jasons.
Okay.
But past that, I've not seen a single one, and I know I'm gonna have to eventually because
make you probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say every odd numbered season we have takes place in the fall, so we're gonna be doing a lot of horror. Films.
Yeah, it's true. Season 2, lots of horror films. We have 5 episodes in October.
Yeah. So sorry, even numbered,
not odd number. But I have to say, in terms of, I'm not a huge like Friday the 13th fan necessarily. I've seen the original a bunch. I think my favorite one is we got to recommend here from Josh. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is awesome. So now I'm gonna watch this, and Josh, I swear to God, I'm gonna find you. If this movie does me dirty, like Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, I'm coming for you, man. I love you, but I'm coming for you. Waiting for Zodiac. I do love that movie too.
Yeah, I did really like that movie a lot.
God, I love that movie. I think Jordan, our moderator here, we were just talking about Zodiac. That's some good shit. See? Yeah, there he is in the chat. True. It's good shit.
I have seen that movie once, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I wish Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 was just Zodiac, and then I'd love it a lot. It would make me very happy.
Okay. It's slightly better. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm taking that wreck to heart, my friend.
Listen, Not to give any spoilers, okay, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 1
is the greatest movie ever made, according to Dave. According to Dave,
no,
it's an unrivaled
false.
Cinematic masterpiece.
False.
Just saying.
I'm gonna do the thing that I said I wasn't gonna do before we started the stream in my head. But I'm gonna take a little quick pee break. So I'll BRB.
Okay, I'm the dancing clown.
Yes. Dance. And here, how about talk about
I'll be here.
Oh, Jordan's up here.
I heard Jordan, Zodiac and I was like,
there you go.
Jordan's here to talk about Zodiac with me.
I'll turn on my mic.
In, dog.
It was Arthur Lee Allen.
I saw you in the chat here.
Yeah. I wish it was Arthur Lee Allen in real life. That line would have been so much better delivered.
It would.
If it was actually him. The loosely based could have been actually true.
I do have to say I learned a little bit about this. Is like a random ass movie trivia thing. I learned this recently. The guy who Jordan, you're gonna have to help me with this. The guy who has the basement in Zodiac, he has the basement, and Jake Gyllenhaal is like, yeah.
He's the
so the guy
writer.
Yes. So the guy who played him, the actor who played him, is the guy who voiced Roger Rabbit and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
He was creepy as fuck. Like, I also wanted him to be the murderer just because he gave off creepy, sexy vibes.
Like literally, and I didn't really think about that either until the whole basement thing. Until I actually moved to California, I was like, you're right, there is no basement. That's weird if you have a basement.
I returned.
Yeah, I've only been in one California basement. I think it was at a bar.
Yeah, and you woke up the next morning in somebody's van.
Out of nowhere to Prince music. So.
Oh yeah, we were there together.
Good so time. I avoid basements in LA because dudes get naked and.
So I took Jordan to a bar. This is like this doesn't have anything to do with anything. But real quick story, I took Jordan to a bar when he was in Los Angeles one time, like a week after Prince died. And there was it just so happened in the basement of this bar, it's like a saloon kind of place.
Yeah.
There happened to be like an erotic dance that was Prince themed, that was like performance. And I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I was cracking up, and George just like.
To be fair, we went to get on the dance floor. When it was a dance floor, we got like 30 seconds in. They're like, "Clear the dance floor." I'm like, "All right." They hate me. They freaking hate me. We get to the side. This dude shows up with a wig on, an afro wig, and then Chicks and Pasties come out to Prince music for a good 40 minutes. There was a dude in front row, older gentleman with just singles ready, like he knew this was on their Facebook page for weeks.
What? It was a blast, dude. That was a fun time.
The announcer called us out. He's like, "Who are those gentlemen with, those ladies," or something like that. I was like,
yeah, that's right.
Not anymore if you're available, son.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So, yeah, no basements.
Wow.
No basements for Jordan.
That's why I don't do basements.
That's true.
And that's where
I do have to say, Zodiac is one of those movies though that like does kind of send you down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, totally.
Like, oh man.
What's funny is I watched Zodiac after I had gotten into true crime podcasts, and I had heard a few podcasts about Zodiac.
Okay.
And I remember seeing a few things where I'm like, oh, I remember them talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, they literally based this shit off the real thing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, that we talked about this in a live stream we did on YouTube. We were talking about the Batman.
Yes.
And how the Riddler's costume and like his design reminded me a lot of Zodiac. Just had that same kind of vibe.
Oh yeah.
I mean
I can agree there. Yeah.
The movie, The Batman itself, felt very Fincher inspired, and David Fincher also directed Zodiac, but it makes sense. It all makes sense, and I really love that movie. I'm wondering if Josh bought the book right after watching the movie. You got to read it.
Which book?
The one I think it's the who Robert Grayson. Is that the one you're talking about? I've not read it, but I've heard it's great. Can't give my opinion on it.
Which book that is? Is it about the Zodiac?
So Robert Grayson is maybe is I think that's the character's name. Jordan, am I right or wrong? Jordan's gone. But he was Jake Gyllenhaal played Robert Grayson. He was a real man in real life.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think he wrote the book. Yeah, okay, confirmed by Josh on the stream. He wrote a book about it and everything, which I think is what Fincher used to, which inspired the movie. I heard it's really great. I haven't read it myself, so I can borrow it, dude. I would love to borrow it. Send that stuff my way. I'm here for all of it.
I might listen to that on Audible.
Top Gun, because you do have Goose in that movie, so
hey, that's true. That's true. It's coming full circle, my friend.
Shit. You're going all the way back around. Now let's go ahead and start talking about Top Gun Maverick again.
So if you're just tuning in,
or they have planes.
We're gonna have a cyclical fucking stream today.
Just on our rotation, start talking about the same shit over and over again.
It's like on ESPN where they every few hours it's the same exact thing. Yeah,
they gotta fill time somehow.
Right, but they make it seem like they're there still somehow.
Right,
like it feels like it's live, but you're like, I just saw. Are they just doing the same thing over and over?
Like the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
I do have to say there are some interesting movies coming out that I'm pretty hyped for.
Oh my god, yes.
Do you have one specifically?
Yes, Don't Worry, Darling. That looks incredible.
That's a Olivia Wilde film, right?
Yes, and it's got Florence Pugh. It's got what's his name from fucking 1D. It's got Chris Pine in it.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, Harry Styles
for sure.
And then Olivia Wilde's in it too. It looks fan-fucking-tastic.
I am excited. Not to derail that because I do want to talk about this.
Yeah.
But Josh wants to know, what about Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh, I didn't even see him say that. Like as like on the episode or just in general? Because I'm sure it'll be on an episode one of these days. But
yeah,
never seen it. I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Never seen it.
That's so interesting.
The closest I've come to watching a full anything about Nightmare on Elm Street or Freddy Krueger is the Inception episode of Rick and Morty where they go and meet Scary Terry.
That is hilarious. Hilarious episode. There's a lot to
No, Josh, I've never seen it, and I think it was right before you got on. I haven't seen any of them up until this past episode. I haven't seen Scream. I haven't seen Jason or none of them.
Tapes in for a long October this year.
Yeah, and next year, and the following year, and every single year ever.
Yeah, you're fucked for years to come.
Yeah,
for sure.
I saw my first movie this year. I'd never seen a movie ever in my entire life up until this year.
That's why you started a podcast with me.
Yeah, about movies. Yeah, why not?
That's the conceit for sure. I've seen the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I've seen the second one. And maybe I've seen other ones like here and there. I know some of the references to other ones. But one I actually do like, and I think, don't quote me on this, I could be very, very wrong. Probably. But there's Wes Craven was the director of Scream, was the director of the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. At least I think the first and maybe the second one. Anyway, there's a Nightmare on Elm Street film called New Nightmare, which is like a meta take on the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, where they take the actors from the movies who it's set in real life, like the actors, and Freddy comes into the real world from the script. It's crazy. It's bonkers. It's actually really, really fun. It's a really, really fun movie.
It's one of those movies that's so bad that it's fun.
No, I actually enjoyed it. It's like it doesn't hold up, but it's like the interesting ideas for the time when it came out. And yes, Leprechaun in the Hood is a quintessential October viewing. So yeah, Josh, I'm just saying, you're right on the money. Did you know, Dave, speaking of the Leprechaun movies, I don't know if you've probably never seen any of them.
No.
The first one stars Jennifer Aniston.
What?
Yes.
Pre-Friends, during Friends?
I think pre-Friends, Jennifer Aniston. She was early. Jennifer Aniston also, by the way, was in, if anybody's heard of the movie Mac and Me, which is like a bad ET, like bad corporate ET ripoff. There's whole scenes that take place in a McDonald's. There's like a McDonald's dance sequence. Ronald McDonald's there. It's bonkers. Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston. She's
Jennifer Aniston.
She's like an extra in that movie.
What?
She's like in one of the scenes is like an extra, like a dancer and like an extra in it. So go watch Mac and Me if you hate yourself, or if you have a lot of friends and you drink a lot of booze, or maybe you smoke some weed. Get fucked up and watch that movie. It's amazing. It's really fun. And Dave, not for the podcast, but we're gonna watch this movie together. It's so much fun.
Okay, fair enough.
Please go watch Mac and Me. We need to I know you're not here yet, but we need to get connected on Zoom and watch Mac and Me together. It's a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with that. We haven't done that in a while.
It's been a minute. Yeah. It's been a minute. Bad Movie Night needs to come back.
Yeah, I agree. It does. I think we probably should do it right before we start production on season 2, though.
Get a little palate cleanser, yeah. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be a palate cleanser. We watched some pretty, interesting films that I don't want to spoil anything, but we watched some crap, some things that I didn't think I hated. I actually hate. Some things that I thought I didn't, or some things in this season, especially that I didn't think I really cared about, I found that I loved. It was an eye-opening season of this podcast.
So let's go ahead and speaking of season 2 and more shitty movies, let's go ahead and ask the chat. We have all of season 2 planned out.
Yeah. We need your help.
We need your help with one episode.
Yes.
It's going to be what kind of horror was it? Because it happens in
So October. There's 5 Mondays. Our podcast comes out on Monday mornings. And so there's 5 Mondays in October, which falls right in the middle of our season 2. Right. So we have a bunch of horror genres that we're covering each week, but there was one we could not decide on. And that genre being ghost movies, and not supernatural horror. Specifically ghost movies.
Yes.
And we narrowed it down to 4 movies, 2 matchups.
2 matchups, yes.
So I don't know if you want to give them the matchups. I don't know if anybody knows their ghost movies here. I can pull it up too if you need here.
Yeah. So we have the first matchup for this potential for the episode is The Conjuring of 2013 versus Poltergeist from 1982. Ghost love movies, ghost horror movies. Jordan.
Swayze is not invited to this episode.
No. So the second potential matchup for this episode is The Others from 2001 versus The Shining from 1980. So we want y'all's help.
Yeah. Help us decide what we should do for this episode. What matchup sounds better? Or depending, if you have some other suggestions, some other specific ghost movies you like, let us know. We're all ears at this point. Yeah. We have 10 episodes to do next season.
Yeah, which is 2 more than this season. We're going to ramp our way up to 12 starting season 3.
Because we hate ourselves and we love you all.
Exactly. So, Jordan, you're in the chat. Would you mind putting Wendy says The Shining episode. Okay.
I knew that was coming. Thank you, Wendy. You're the real MVP.
Jordan, would you mind putting those 2 matchups in for us? Although we just got the only 2 people aside from you
Okay, Josh, I appreciate the answer. I'm gonna need you to be way more specific.
With the Conjuring versus Poltergeist, or the others versus The Shining. So, of anybody who hasn't chimed in yet, if you want to chime in, we definitely would love your input.
Or you can tell us we're both stupid. See, Hereditary. We actually did talk about Hereditary. Dave and I, did we see this? Did we see Hereditary together?
I think we did. I'm fairly certain that we did.
Okay, we also saw Midsummer together. We definitely saw Midsummer together.
We saw Midsummer together. Together. I saw Hereditary here when I was visiting, and the people I saw it with, we were all so confused as to what the fuck we just saw. We literally watched it again.
Dude, that's another hype movie. I bought into so much fucking hype for that movie, and this might be a hot take, but I was a little disappointed the first time through. But I like it more now that I've seen it again. And Midsummer, I'm sorry, also might be a hot take. I like Midsummer more than Hereditary.
I thought Midsummer was fan-fucking-tastic, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
Oh, so good, dude. I thought you were gonna fucking hate that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I loved it. I remember I was blown away by it. After it was done, it was me, you, and was it Alex?
Yeah, I think Alex was there.
Yeah, so it was the three of us. I thought I remember the three of us just being like speechless.
Oh, dude, I think the lights came up and people are just kind of went, and I was like,
right. How are you all not horrified?
Oh, so good, man. Okay, Wendy up in here saying Poltergeist is great as well. Any room for Close Encounters? Not a ghost movie, but actually a great movie. And actually, I'm gonna literally write that down because that would be fun to talk about eventually. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Can't go wrong with Dreyfus.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we can find another cult movie, we have to do Midsummer.
I'm down, dude. I'm down. There's plenty of cult movies, right? I'm sure I know there's plenty of cult movies. And Midsummer is so specific. And obviously, like we make jokes and stuff, and that's the idea.
Right.
Even with movies we love, we're not here to like talk shit, necessarily, unless we really hate the movies. But there's so much in that movie. There's so much to talk about and discuss, and it's so fucked up. I loved it. I loved it. Although people come at me for liking Midsummer more than Hereditary, not gonna lie.
I think it was better.
I think it was a better movie.
I think it was a better movie. I listen. I really did like Hereditary. I thought it was very scary. But something about a movie that takes place 100% in daylight that can scare the shit out of you, I think is better.
Oh, totally. It got my mind just going big time. And Josh, that's actually a really funny you brought up Velvet Buzzsaw. I was just thinking of that movie because that's a what's his name? Dan Gilroy movie. Jake Gyllenhaal. I fucking hated that movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It had a lot of potential, and I was really, really excited for it. And I think it was a Netflix release, and it came out, and I was like, I want this to be good. I really, really want this to be good, and it just fucking wasn't. It did not hit for me.
Great.
I'm sorry.
I don't even
Your
know
opinion
what it
is still valid, but
I've never even heard of it.
It's interesting. It's like a Jake Gyllenhaal thing. He's like an art curator, and like I think there's some like supernatural stuff about it, but I don't know. It was not very cohesive at all. And I like Jake Gyllenhaal. His acting was really weirdly inconsistent in it.
Oh,
yeah. It was strange. It was a strange movie, and I like strange things, but it didn't congeal for me, I guess. Okay. Well, hey, listen, John, I'm not hating on you. Like what you like and never stop liking what you like. I fucking hated that movie though.
Listen, we all have our hot takes. Like I know Blake, you really liked Uncut Gems, and
I love Uncut Gems.
No, me and
get
Jordan
the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Uncut Gems made me cry, and I turned it off halfway through. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I turned it off within 15 minutes.
I love it. I love it. But I do have to say, I keep recommending this to you, and I need you to watch it for my sake, so I can feel validated in my own opinions. Totally. But you have to watch Good Time. It's so the Safdie brothers directed Uncut Gems, but the movie they did before that is a Robert Pattinson starring film called Good Time. It's so good. It's really, really great, and I need you to watch it because I actually think you are gonna like it. Well, acting's fantastic, directing's fantastic, story is really cool. Watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I have. There's so much I have to catch up.
There's so many movies.
It's not even just movies. Like I started trying to catch up on The Boys because I'm still on season 2.
I stopped trying to catch up on TV like 5 years ago.
So much, and I hate, like, listen, I will always take recommendations. I love when people recommend things to me.
Recommend things for sure.
My request is, please, for the love of God, stop recommending TV series because I do not have time. I don't have time to fucking get enveloped into a series. When we're watching so many movies for our podcast. And I mean, I know the both of us, we watch each movie multiple times.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's time consuming. Very much. This podcast that we do takes up a lot of time for nobody.
Literally. Hey, listen, we've had 300 downloads.
No, I really appreciate everybody who has like taken the time and listened to episodes and like text us and everything. It's a blast. We love doing this, and we love hanging out here and talk with everybody. So we do it because we're losers and we have no other friends, so we have to seek out validation from others. So
yeah, like I'm literally Blake's only friend and vice versa. So
yeah, it's true. But now via the internet, you're all our friends.
And whether or not you want to be,
you're gonna get really uncomfortable invites to Christmas. So sorry. It's bummer.
The Outsider, Josh asks our opinion.
The Outsider? I don't know. Oh, I don't know The Outsider. Hold,
I was please. Gonna say, I don't know if I know either. I'm gonna Google at the same time.
Hold, please. This is gonna be really thrilling stream stuff with Dave and I googling shit.
We're both googling at the same
okay. Time. I know what this is. I have not seen it, but I recognize the cover art. The Outsider.
From 2018?
Yes? Question mark? No, 2020. At least according to this.
What?
It's a psychological thriller horror crime drama. Dude, what?
Outsider.
This sounds like my alley completely.
It's the series.
I assume the series.
Josh, you talking about the series?
Yeah, not The Outsiders, the film starring Emilio Estevez.
You said Jared Leto.
Oh, okay. Hold please. I don't fucking know.
Fucking hold up. I'm confused.
Hold on. I got this.
Jared Leto. It's 2018. Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm looking at something completely different. I'm looking at
it's a movie from 2018. After World War II, an American POW stays in Japan and works his way through the rituals and hardships of the
Do you know what it means?
to become a member of the crime organization.
It's a fable.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard of this.
The koi fish who can swim up a water.
It sounds like a slight ripoff of
becomes a dragon.
What's the Tom Cruise movie?
With the one where he's a good guy and there's no character flaws?
Yeah. Where he's a samurai? Was it called Samurai?
Oh, The Last Samurai.
Last Samurai. Kind of sounds a little bit.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm down for a good movie rec. I appreciate that. I've literally never heard of this. So
do you know what it means?
I'm totally down. The first thing that popped up for me when I Googled it was the like HBO series or something. I was like, oh, this looks great. So thanks also for that recommendation. Josh, I found something else that looks pretty fucking cool. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's crazy.
Because I have so much time to just like watch TV and fuck off, apparently.
Yeah, I don't, but I force it in there anyway. I shoehorn movies into my life because I have to.
Dude, I know. That's what we were supposed to do the stream tomorrow originally.
Yeah.
But I got work and like I'm freelance, so I usually work from home, but I got this thing and I was like, I have to be on site for 2 days. I was like, we're doing this shit Tuesday. Sorry.
Luckily, I have it's not a flexible schedule, but I have a flexible enough post-work schedule.
Yeah.
that it really wouldn't matter.
Yo, okay. Dodie Hawk in the chat. Hey, yo. She wanted to respond to this entire thread about Hereditary and Uncut Gems.
She says you were lost in Hereditary. Listen, same boat. Okay, because I was so confused by Hereditary. Like I said, I had to rewatch it. Like I had to watch it immediately again to understand what the fuck I just saw. And then literally Uncut Gems, it was just like, I put it on because I know, like, I love seeing comedic actors do non-comedic roles. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Adam Sandler, I got to see this. And it started, and I was like, okay. Okay. Oh my God, come on.
He's so good in it.
He's
so
great,
good in it.
But it just dragged. And I'm like, oh, get to something, please. And I just turned it off.
False. They get to something. You just gave up. I'm just saying, you're a quitter. And you need to watch the whole movie. Yeah. I saw both of these movies with Alex. Hereditary. I think I left more pissed than Alex did, which usually she'd be really pissed at. And I'm like, cool. Like, I love this like weird shit. I was pissed because I bought the hype of Hereditary. I've come around. I found my way, and it's great. I really didn't like it. She had to talk me off a fucking ledge. Because I was so hyped for this movie. And then when we saw Uncut Gems, we saw it here at home, and she had food poisoning. And she's like fucking dying. She's like dying. No. And I'm like, oh God, I love this. And I'm like sweating because it's such an intense movie. She's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna rise from the dead of my sickness and murder you in cold blood. No.
Yo, it's a great movie. I haven't seen, aside from
worst anxiety producing me. It's true. I mean, I get it.
I'm not gonna watch it then, especially I'm not gonna finish it. But I have not, aside from Top Gun Maverick, which I saw my whole family rented out of theater to go see it, which was really cool. It was actually a lot cheaper than you would think. It was only like a couple $100.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
dude, we're gonna have to do that.
We should 100% do that.
That sounds like fun.
But I haven't seen a movie with another person in theaters since I believe Isaac and I went and saw Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
But I did see me and Cheyenne used to watch movies all the time. Moonlight was one of the last ones I saw with another person.
Such a good movie.
It was a very good movie.
Such a good movie, dude.
But yeah, I see movies by myself 98% of the time now.
Yeah, I see a lot of movies by myself. I mean, mostly because like I can like my schedule's pretty flexible, and so like I'd rather do like the cheapy movies where I can go at like noon or something to the AMC and nobody's fucking in there. Nobody's coughing on me. Nobody's kids are touching me or kicking my seat or anything. I can just like sit in the back and be like weird and stuff by myself.
Oh yeah, and like for me, it's like I started going to movies by myself because of the last time I lived in LA. Towards the end, I was too broke and I lived too far away from anybody, you, Isaac, anybody I could see. I lived too far away from. So there was movies I wanted to see, but I was like, listen, I don't have a way to link up with anybody, so I just started going by myself. Yeah. And the first time I went, I was like, oh, most movies are kind of a solo kind of thing for me. Yeah. Anyways.
No, me too.
There's no real point to seeing movies with other people, which like there's exceptions to every rule. Sure. Particularly Everything Everywhere All at Once, which we talked about on our YouTube.
It's exactly stream. I was going to bring that up. Yeah, we talked about that on our YouTube stream. That's a movie you should see with people.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. And that's the only reason why I haven't seen it again yet, is because I have no one to go with here.
Yeah.
To go see it again.
Dude, the second time through that movie, I think I said it on the last stream, even better. It's so good.
Shut up.
So good. I love you, but listen, it's even better. Go see
Jordan,
it again.
You call me David, then we're not going anywhere with it.
Make Jordan go. Yeah, you and Jordan live close enough together.
Well, I don't have time. I work 60 hours a week delivering fucking mail. And then I would say right now, before production starts with our podcast, I'm still working like 20, 30 hours a week on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. We do lots of things.
I have Sundays free most weeks, but Now that those are probably going to go away because I'm going to start doing some more stuff.
Yeah. So Jordan, just show up at Dave's house on a Sunday with a gun and force him into your car.
Great.
I'm fine with it. I
Great.
condone this. Wait, do we ever get to the bottom of everybody here? If you can access the chat, we need you right now. We still have an episode to figure out, and we just totally fucking blew past this.
We did, yes.
We got to circle back.
So Wendy initially said,
I knew Wendy's gonna go for The Shining versus the others.
Now Josh said both are great, which is very helpful. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Jordan did not have an opinion, and Alex had not yet chimed in. So if you are in the chat, please tell us what you would. Oh, great, The Shining.
Okay,
thanks.
another vote for The Shining.
Another vote for The Shining. What you would prefer to see: The Shining versus the others. Here, Shining versus the others, or Poltergeist versus what was the other one?
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
2013.
Thank you. Jesus. So whichever you would rather listen to us talk about. There we go.
Awesome. So I guess while we if anybody else, we'll give people a few minutes to chime in if they want. We have 2 votes for The Shining and 1 vote for They Both Look Great. Which I love you for.
Yes, absolutely.
Josh also asked what are our all-time favorite movies.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna need you to chime in first.
Me chime in. Okay, so yeah. I don't have. Hey, Isaac, what's up, buddy?
Isaac.
I don't have a number 1 favorite film. I have a few like that are kind of interchangeable.
Okay.
Isaac, we were talking about Top Gun Maverick and the Black Phone, but now we're talking about. I think the questions are all-time favorite movies.
Our questions is the all-time favorite movies. But while we're talking about this, I need you, specifically you, Isaac and Isaac alone, to tell us what we should do for an episode next season. It's ghost movies. And the 2 matchups are The Conjuring 2013 versus Poltergeist, the original 1982, or The Others 2001 versus The Shining 1980.
Right. So I would say my top 3 that are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
Interstellar. Interstellar stays at number 1 for a lot of the time. But then I remember other movies and I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, that's 3 for The Others and The Shining.
Seems like that's the winner then.
We may have a consensus.
Yeah. So Interstellar, Inception.
Christopher Nolan films exclusively.
Pretty much. And then I was gonna say I can't think of the third one, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think literally became my number 1 favorite movie of all time. But then
it's so fucking good.
Yeah. You know what? I changed my answer. Everything Everywhere All at Once is my favorite all-time movie.
It's so good. I cannot actually in good conscience answer that question because I don't have a favorite movie of all time because
Damn, Isaac.
There's a lot of good for you, Isaac, because it deserves that love. It deserves to be watched as much as humanly possible. It's so beautiful and heartwarming and awesome and funny and weird and action-packed. All the adjectives are this movie. But for me, in terms of my favorite films of all time, I love movies and I love a lot of different kinds of movies. So it really depends on my mood and stuff. Like I can watch The Big Lebowski over and over again.
That's a good one.
It's such a good movie and I love it so dearly. And that's something I can watch over and over again. David Lynch movies I can watch over and over again, specifically Mulholland Drive. I'm
sorry, hold on. Pause.
Yeah, what's up? Yep.
Josh, you haven't seen Interstellar?
What?
Hold on, okay? I need you to watch that right now.
You should. Actually, I saw that movie right when it came out. It's the loudest fucking movie I've ever been to. Whoever was at the controls owes me some doctor bills because holy shit, my ears were fucking bleeding. That Hans Zimmer score.
Isaac hasn't watched it either. Oh my god. What is happening?
All the movie recs. You all need to get together with me because I want to watch these movies again too. And we're gonna watch all these together. This sounds like a fucking blast. It's so good.
Interstellar is probably. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it again, I would say that Interstellar and Everything Everywhere All at Once are tied.
We can watch them on Discord. Yes, we definitely should do that one time. That sounds like a blast. All right, Dave. I'm gonna need you to take the reins. Jordan, I don't know if you're around, but I'm gonna use Albano here.
Albano, listen.
Respond to the chat because there's lots to talk about.
So okay, Josh, you haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once either. You absolutely have to see that, but you have to see that with other people.
What's the premise of that one, Dave?
Everything Everywhere All at Once is a multiverse movie. It's the best multiverse movie I've ever seen. And I'm a big Marvel fan, so that's saying something. But basically, it's this middle-aged woman who gets sucked into this like multiversal war with other versions of her daughter, which is crazy. So we see different versions of this woman and her life, how it could have been, and how I guess it is in other universes. And then how her daughter is like a psychopath traveling through all of these universes, killing her mom, which is insane. But it's the funniest movie I've ever seen. It's like the most touching movie I've ever seen. It's got some of the coolest action I've ever seen. And there is really good use of butt plugs in this movie.
I mean, yeah. Sold.
Yeah, Josh, watch it with other people because it's one of those things where when Blake and I watched it, we went and saw it together when I was last in LA. It ended and nobody in the theater moved. Everybody talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once, Blake.
Oh yeah.
Everybody just sat where they were, and Wendy, I promise the butt plug thing.
It pays off. It pays off.
It's worth it.
Wendy, you'd love this movie.
I think you would love it. But Josh, nobody moved in the theater. Blake and I just turned to each other and we just like, oh my God. And then we overheard other people just going back over things that we just saw, the scenes that we just saw. And, it was towards the end of the night. So like,
it's pretty late. Yeah.
There wasn't really anybody coming in for new movies. So we all went to the bathroom, everybody from this one movie. Alex is damn right. I remember saying something to Blake about one of the scenes in this movie, and everybody in the bathroom laughed.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I never thought I'd be in this position, but I'm actively recommending a movie with dildos and butt plugs to my mother. It's a great movie. It's heartwarming.
Oh my God. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Love you, Wendy.
Oh God.
I don't think you could say love you after that. This is just a verbal mod. I'm going to have to ban you.
I'm banned from my own stream.
Oh,
it's fine.
You're going to get
fucking
time.
funny.
Worth it.
Holy
I'm going to go try to sleep after that.
Oh my God.
Point of the story, it's a great movie. I really enjoy it. I recommend it to all your loved ones.
I was thinking about the same thing. He was recommending his mom. I think among the fact that I know my parents wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
That was one reason I was like, I don't even want them to even think about watching it.
I gotta say, like, Wendy can hang, man. She's seen some messed up shit that I recommended. Oh God, I recommended Enemy, I think, to her, and Mulholland Drive. God bless her. And she watched them both. She watched them both. She's like, I don't know if like I understand. She's like, it was interesting. It was fucking weird. And I recommend her weird shit, and she actually watches it. And God bless her for that.
Good
Not
on
everybody
you, Wendy.
does. Yeah,
that's crazy.
She can hang. Just saying. I know. So are we definitive too in our we have 3 or 4 votes for The Others versus The Shining.
Yeah, I would say that's
gonna take the W. So, I mean, I'm good with it if you want to call it.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it.
All right, cool. So our official episode for ghost movies, which is a definitive genre, is The Others, 2001, starring Nicole Kidman, versus The Shining, 1980, starring some people you may have heard of.
I don't know, some lower name actors.
And I gotta say, man, I'm here for an open mind. I love The Shining. It's such a wonder. I finally got to see it in the theaters. I think I was texting you, Dave.
Yeah, you did,
I saw a midnight screening of it on film at Tarantino's theater, the New Beverly. I'm pointing at it like you know where the fuck I'm pointing. I'm like over there.
Yeah.
You know, Tarantino's theater. He's over there.
No, I can see it from there.
For sure. But I saw like a beat up print of it, and it was very exciting to see in like an actual theater, and like you get to see it on film, and you know the film's been through a lot. And it was a packed house. It was a midnight screening. It was really fun.
That's crazy.
So that's another movie that I can just watch.
That's one thing. One thing I'm definitely looking forward to for when I get back to LA, is going to these, movies.
There's so many cool screenings out here.
Yeah, and it's not even just like new movies, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Josh in the chat. Yeah, definitely go there. They have screenings. Like I think it's every night of the week. And it's always fun. I saw a John Cassavetes double feature there 10 years ago maybe.
Okay.
And I think one of his like producers who worked with John Cassavetes was there talking about these movies, and it's fun. Like we've seen a lot of screenings. Dave, I've brought you to a lot of screenings. So I always get 2 tickets for everything. Yeah. But like with people showing up and talking, and like cast will show up to all these different little things, and it's a lot of fun.
There's been multiple times where you'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna go see this movie," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's not a question. Yeah, it's not like an actual question. Like, "Hey, we're doing this," and you're like, "Dot dot dot." Okay, and I was like, "Cool."
Yeah,
you're picking me up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it went. But I've never been like, damn it, Blake, after seeing any of the movies that we've seen.
God bless you for that, because you have every right to be like,
no. I would say I know we've talked about this before, but the only time where I was like, huh? Was The Lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, I love The Lighthouse so much, and I didn't know how you were gonna react to it.
I've seen it 2 or 3 times now, and I really liked it. Oh yeah, I really liked it.
God, it's so good. I was a huge fan of Robert Eggers, the director. This is another one of those things that we talked about earlier, where it's like if I know a director, I like their work, I'll go see their other stuff, even if I might not be super interested in the topic.
Yeah.
So I love The Witch, which is like his like big breakout kind of film, like an A24 film. So The Lighthouse, they started putting like ads out for it, and I did the thing. I was like, cool, saw it, the trailer, want to see it. I'm ignoring everything until I see the movie. What a fucking trip. What a trip. And I remember like kind of like looking over to you like,
yeah,
is Dave about to like, how's Dave gonna take this thing? But
you're gonna have to refresh my memory on that movie.
So it's about 2 lighthouse keepers, an old one, Willem Dafoe, and a newer one, Robert Pattinson.
No, I meant the Witch.
Oh, The Witch. Oh, it's like a kind of a like a Puritan, like early America kind of thing, where this family was outcast from like their church, I think, for like sins they committed, and they have to kind of go it alone on their own little homestead. And what they think is a witch steals a baby, like the newborn baby, and they all kind of like turn on each other a little bit, and then it's has a lot of like puritanical kind of ideals about like witchcraft and those things. Everybody's kind of paranoid about that stuff.
This is the movie that you and I saw?
No, we saw The Lighthouse, but same director as The Lighthouse did The Witch.
I missed you say that part. I must have disassociated for 30 seconds or something.
Cool. Thanks for showing up to the stream, Dave. Nice to have you. Glad you're here. No, it's a really great film. And I don't know if you've seen it necessarily, but it's also the same director who just did The Northman.
Oh, I still got to see that.
I do too. I was busy and I was out of town and stuff, so I didn't catch the like very small theater run. It bombed apparently.
No, did it? I saw like every when I'm scrolling through our Instagram feed, I've seen a lot of good things about it. Nobody said anything bad about it.
No, I've heard amazing things about it, but people just didn't show up to see it in theaters, which is disappointing.
Well, I would say that's probably because the marketing fucking fumbled the shit out of that one.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
Like, they absolutely fumbled. I mean, they had a poster without the movie title on it.
Yeah. Great. Good idea.
Great. Fantastic.
You really want to sell this.
What the fuck? But yeah, I think like there's a lot of really great movies coming around.
I agree. I'm really excited to see Jordan Peele's Nope.
Yes.
That looks really interesting.
Looks really good. That one, Men, looks really good.
Oh, I cannot wait to see Men. I think it already had its theater run. So Alex Garland, who directed Ex Machina, he's a writer on a bunch of stuff originally, but he directed Ex Machina and directed Annihilation. Both movies I fucking love. So he directed Men. I've heard mixed things on it, but I'm interested to see it. Yeah.
Well, I bet you the mixed things are coming from Men.
Well, yeah. Well, it wasn't it wasn't that specific. The stuff I have heard is kind of, I guess, polarizing on I mean, whatever. It looks like an allegorical kind of film, like steeped in metaphor and stuff. I can tell it's not a movie for everybody, and that's fine.
Yeah, Jordan. I think actually a lot of the ones that we're talking about.
So Men is past their theater run, I'm sure. The Northman, I think, has already started to stream. I still need to see it. But Nope hasn't come out yet. It comes out at the end of this month. Halloween Ends, I think, comes out later this year.
Don't care.
Sorry, I don't care. I'm not going to see it. Halloween Kills killed my spirit for any Halloween movies.
I don't remember when Don't Worry Darling comes out. I think it's this year, but I'm definitely going to go see the fuck out of that movie.
I'm definitely going to see that, dude.
And then if it comes out before, or if it comes out and it's still in its theater run when I'm back, we should go see it together.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then what else? What else are some really good movies?
Well, so they just did announce, by the way. I think I texted you this. I don't know if we talked about it, but okay, Josh saw The Northman. He wasn't a big fan. I'm interested to see it. He can't wait for Halloween. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's one of his favorite series, of course.
That's fair. I'm sorry. You're wrong. Josh, I love you. I hope you know that. I'm not trying to fuck with you. I was not a big fan of Halloween 2018, and I thought Halloween Kills was a fucking travesty. That was also offensively bad, and I was really, really mad, and it wasted my fucking time. Anyway, no, I didn't like the last Halloween. I really didn't. Like, I know I was literally, people came for me when this came out in 2018. I was like, people were hyped for the new Halloween. Halloween's back. They really brought it back. And I was like, maybe it was hype. But like, I fucking did not like it. I left that theater. If Alex is still in the chat, she knows I was pissed. She's had to talk me off of so many ledges. It's ridiculous about things that don't matter at all in my life. But listen, you should root for Michael Myers at this point. Absolutely, Josh.
Kill them all.
Listen,
funny thing.
Agreed.
Funny story. I didn't realize that my autocorrect made me misspell Michael Myers' name on like several of our fucking social media posts.
I read that and I was like, I didn't question it until I put it in, and I was like, something's wrong here. Yeah,
I misspelled it for sure.
That's fine.
I didn't realize it until Blake. So I was like, oh fuck.
You took the classical Myers spelling. Yeah, but like, listen, I didn't like 2018's Halloween. I didn't think it was good. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. But Halloween Kills, fuck that movie. It wasted my time, and it just took there's no main characters. Nothing happens. Laurie's in a coma like the whole time. And like, wake up. Do something.
Listen.
Do some stuff. Whatever. I hope Michael Myers kills everybody in this last one and we never get this shit ever again.
I feel that way about any like horror movie series.
Yeah.
Where the main character dies.
Okay.
In it. If there's more than one and it has the same killer, fuck you, you're stupid. I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? Don't it's a money grab. I get it. But like listen, I'm going to upset you and probably a lot of people in this chat.
That's fine. I'm used to being upset. Go on.
Listen, the fact that there's more than one Scream is dumb as shit.
Actually, no, I'm going to disagree with you.
It's dumb.
I'm going to fucking disagree with you.
Because the killers died.
Because no, here's the thing. This is the thing that's great about Scream. And this is what makes more sense about Scream than Halloween ever fucking makes sense. Because Halloween, it's the same killer. It's Michael Myers every fucking time. Okay. Yeah, right. And Scream, not to fucking spoil 20-year-old movies or anything necessarily, but it's different people taking on this persona. We talked about this in the episode, a shameless plug, but we talked about this in the episode.
Yes, we did.
That anybody can buy. It's known as like the Ghostface costume is like a dime store costume. Anybody can have it. Therefore, it can be anybody. So with the sequels, people adopt this thing. It's fans of these things, and there's a movie within a movie in the later series. It's really fun. They're not the most sound movies of all time, but it's really fun, and it makes more sense to have these like Ghostface come back because it's not the same person every time. It can be anybody. Listen, that's what makes it last so long as a franchise. Halloween does not make sense.
Well, first of all, I agree with the latter part of that. Halloween doesn't make sense, but I disagree with the fact that that part of Scream makes sense, because why is that costume still available in stores in that same city? We keep fucking coming back to it.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Technically, Isaac.
Listen, fine, Isaac, whatever. Bad take. Just it doesn't have to make sense, and I'm fine with like the small iterations, like whatever. Halloween 1 to Halloween 2, fine. I'm fine with it. But I'm talking about, yes, and it's metaphor. Yes, you're right. It's metaphorical. He's the embodiment of evil. Dr. Loomis made fucking sure
he made us
to let us know
that for sure.
He came after my brain cells on that one for sure. Like we know for sure. But they don't treat him as a metaphor as much as they could. If they treated him more as like a metaphor, it would work over a longer series of things, I think. But they treat him like a literal man, and then sometimes they give him backstory that humanizes him. And when you humanize him and then still try to make him a supernatural myth, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't fucking work for me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
There's a reason why I don't like any of these horror movies, because none of them make any fucking sense.
And I'm fine. I can take leaps of logic. I can. To have fun with stuff, I can take leaps of logic. But when you keep a series going, so 1978 to today is
bullets. Yes, he does, Josh.
He does. The man's a okay. Like I don't know how to do math. So what's this year? 2022.
2022.
So 44 years of Michael Myers. It's been 44-ish years since the original Halloween came out, and we still have the same killer. He's lost his supernatural aura, in my opinion. He's lost his luster and sheen. He's just coming back so they can make money at this point. And I cannot be convinced of anything more.
Like, listen, that's how Scream is.
No, and I get that, but like it works within the context of the film. And Halloween, they're just like, hey, forget about these like other ones where we kill him in every movie, and like he's just back now. So evil.
Well, okay, listen, I kind of feel the same way about Ghostface, because like, yeah, it's different people, but it's like listen, after, like, I can see one copycat after.
Okay,
cool. I can see that. I'd be okay with like a Scream 2, or like maybe years later. Like if they had the original Scream and then this year's Scream with the same fucking title for some reason, and then they just deleted everything in the middle, I'd be okay with it.
Listen,
however, if there's that many people coming back in these to come in and put on this fucking costume to kill these other people, at some point, if you're in your home in this city and you see, and your phone rings and someone's like getting all like, hello, whatever.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? The first thing I'm doing is going and arming myself.
No, for sure. Okay, so I think here's where.
Yes, Isaac, I agree totally. And Josh, yes, I agree with you too.
So here's where I think you should educate yourself. You should watch the other Scream movies and see how they handle it.
Absolutely not.
Okay, but you should anyway. Hey, it's Silver Thunder. The first thing he'd do is laugh. My man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
What's your favorite scary movie? What?
It's like listen, I understand. I would probably arm myself. I don't take well to, I don't answer my phone first off, so I guess they wouldn't get that far. If you text me some threats about what's your favorite scary movie, I'm talking to you. I'm just talking to you. You got me. I'm fucking dead at that point, and that's fine. I accept my fate. But but yeah, we need Silver Thunder up in here to shock out a beer though before he goes.
Listen, all I'm saying is, there goes my shit.
Rip.
Rip again. Rip part 2. Rip part 2. Great. I'm so good.
I'm gonna answer Josh on the chat here. I did not. I think I saw maybe an episode or 2 of the MTV Scream series, but I didn't dive into it much, to be honest with you. Isaac. Dave's falling apart over here.
My light keeps fucking falling down because it's not set up very well because I don't have a good place to put it. So I just gotta stop touching because like I'm all like spinny and shit, and I keep donking my desk with my knee. Just like, oh, thanks, man.
Yes, dude. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. Appreciate you having a chat with us here. This is great.
Yeah,
and like, listen, we're here to talk shit about Dave and to Dave. That's the main focus of this entire stream.
Talking shit about Dave.
For sure. but it's one of those things where I do think watch the movies, dude. I don't know how else to convince you. Isaac wants to know if we can talk about Endgame. I've never seen
it. He's not a yes, absolutely, dude. Check him out.
Yeah, Blake please go check out Silver Thunder. Blake is one of the most fun streams ever. Sorry, Dave. Go on.
Yeah, you're good. Blake is not an MCU fan, so it'd just be me talking and Blake going like this.
And listen, to be perfectly clear, I don't have anything against the MCU. I just don't have enough time to do all that homework to keep up with those things. It's fine. I've seen some of the movies. I mean, Isaac was our first stream participant when we streamed on YouTube. We were talking about Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange, and our feelings on that. But I just haven't seen a bunch of them, so I don't know. I've seen the first Doctor Strange and the newest one, which Pizza Papa, Bruce Campbell needs to be in everything. I'm just saying.
I agree with that.
But I need you to tell me, Dave, that why specifically you will not watch another Scream movie, because I think that's bullshit.
Because the movie was bullshit. Because of all the meta bullshit, and it just like it's supposed to be a scary movie, and it's not even a little bit scary. At no point was it ever scary. And I'm sure maybe in the 90s it was different, but for me, absolutely not. It was not scary at any point. I did like the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I refused to watch the other screens because they're supposed to be these scary movies, and they're fucking not.
Well, they're like I think the newest Scream, which I saw with Jordan and I saw with Wendy. I don't know if Wendy's still in the chat, but I really loved it because what they do is it's always kind of like a new, interesting take. Not all of them are great. Number 3 isn't very good. Number 4 is fine, but it was like 10 years between 3 and 4, and like 10 years between 4 and 5. And that's fine. I think that's all we need. And it's fun. It's self-aware. It's meta, but I think there are some good horror moments in there that hold up. I think the new one's really fun. But
okay.
Listen.
Listen, the only thing I have to say to interrupt is
yes.
I would say by 3.
Okay.
After the second one, where there's a second, murderer going around in the Ghostface costume.
Sure.
Maybe I would hope people would start locking their fucking doors.
It's a fair point. Where I do become skeptical, they did just announce this, that Nev Campbell was not going to be. I don't think they should have done a Scream 6. I think Scream 5 was fun.
Thank you, Silver Thunder.
Scream movies never could carry me with it. I get it. I get it. Okay, I get it. It's not the worst take, especially seeing them now versus I don't know. The original scared the shit out of me because I saw it pretty young. And then knowing all the meta stuff later, seeing it with a different lens of like it being like commentary on the horror genre itself was fun. There's still some like really fun, interesting ass scary moments.
Josh,
What? All the hot takes.
Movie one.
Everybody's coming for me. Everybody's fucking coming for me in the stream.
I love it. Team Dave.
Fine. I disagree with all of you. And I think
listen, like Taylor, I legit was really gonna give it a chance, and I even the mask was cheesy. I was like,
yes,
okay. But the second he started walking around like the fucking Pink Panther, I was like, nope.
Well, they're goofy, they're shitty, dumbass teenagers who've seen a bunch of horror movies. Spoiler alert on a 30-year-old movie, but like, come on, Taylor, defend me here.
No,
Scream is it holds up for me, whatever, and listen, it's not like legit horrifying, but it's a fun movie. I think it holds up.
I will reiterate: Scream is a good movie. Scream is a horrible horror movie.
Wrong.
Horrible horror movie.
I get it, but like I also think you're wrong still, and I'm never gonna not have that opinion about your take on this. It's not scary and like horrifying in the way it probably was originally, but like I think the new one is fun. I don't go into these expecting horror. I expect fun and entertainment and stuff. The calls are coming from inside the house, Isaac. Let's be honest here. So Scream versus so the latest podcast episode, Taylor, was Scream, the original Scream, 1996 versus Halloween 2007. Okay. Dave chose for his movie Halloween 2007. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007, and I chose Scream. And like, I don't want to spoil an episode, but I don't know if you can tell which one won.
Listen. Yes, thank you. It is nostalgia, and it's one of those things where I'm sure if I had seen it at a young age too, I would feel the same way as you. But seeing it in my 30s,
okay,
thinking while I was watching a horror movie, when in fact I was watching a comedy, I was like, nah, dude.
It is funny.
It's very funny. I loved it.
It's hilarious.
Just not as a horror movie. Like I refuse to call it a horror movie because it's not.
Okay.
It's just a bloody comedy. That's all it is.
Okay.
Rob Zombie has a cool name. Yes,
Taylor has the right take in this entire situation. But seriously, you should have my back on this. If there's one person in this chat who should be agreeing with me, it should be Taylor. It's whatever. I understand, and I'm not mad because it's not a bad take or a wrong take. I don't know. And I don't even think it's necessarily a nostalgia thing for me. I don't like watch this movie all the time. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it was really clever. And I thought it was more clever than a lot of horror movies for the time, but even still today. Well, I thought it was really fun and really clever.
Here's the thing for me. When it comes to horror, again, I'm not a horror fan.
Yeah.
So if I'm going into these movies to watch, it's I want to watch them to be scared.
Okay.
Period. That's the only reason I want to watch a horror movie. I don't want to watch a horror movie to laugh. I don't want to watch a horror movie because it's like goofy fun. No, it's supposed to be a horror movie. And horror is inherently scary and terrifying. So the fact that
you're not wrong.
There was at no point was I at all scared during any moment of Scream. Like not even like I never had even like one jump, no twitch, nothing. Means like it's just not a good, in my opinion, it's not a good horror movie. Period.
And I respect that take. I just Halloween 2007 is such a poorly constructed film.
Listen. That movie also sucked.
It's like, okay, I think whatever. I've said this in the episode. It's like there are some fun scares in it for sure. It's so off the rails. Yeah. I hate everybody in that movie, and I was rooting for Michael Myers almost the whole time.
Yeah.
And
well, listen, we Saw versus Hostel.
See, okay. Actually, I think Dave brought up Hostel when we were talking about season 2 and like movies and genres we're gonna
Blake
cover.
said he's never gonna watch Hostel again.
I've seen Hostel twice and it made me fucking sick.
Yeah.
And there's whatever. I'm not like averse to gore necessarily. I don't know, man. That fucked me up a little bit. It just made me queasy. Although we talked about, I don't know if anybody in the chat has seen the original found footage horror film Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh Lord.
I brought it up to Dave because we were talking about different things, and he's like, "Oh, we could do that." I was like, "I'm not watching that movie again. I'm not." And you're like, "Oh, come on, that's even better reason that we should watch this thing." And I was like, "No, it's not just because the movie is gross,
right?
Because it's gross and it's really graphic, but it is filmed in like it's like a late 70s movie. It's filmed in that like, gritty documentary style thing, and it feels believable. But
Centipede.
they actually killed animals on screen in Cannibal Holocaust, and knowing that, I was like, oh, this show is not heavily geared towards horror. We're just happen to be talking about horror. Go ahead, Dave. Yeah,
as I say, we are doing. No, dude, we want you guys to chime in as much as you can, Silver Thunder. So our show is geared towards just genre movies in general.
Yeah, specific genre movies
in general. But we're talking about horror right now because our latest episode, which was a week ago yesterday, was a horror slasher film episode. And we are going to be doing every even numbered season is going to take place in the fall. So we're going to be doing a lot of horror movies every other season, essentially.
Yeah, because we cover October.
Right.
Stuff.
And that's the horror movie month. So we're going to do different genres within the horror genre. But in general, no. In fact, we don't want to, every other chance we get, we don't want to have too much horror because we know that that's a big genre and we don't want to get sucked into doing.
Well, there's just so many movies.
Yeah.
And so many, we both, that's like the conceit of the show. We like a bunch of different kinds of movies and stuff. I mean, our first episode was action. We covered F9 versus Speed. And it was a blast. And we also covered martial arts movies. We covered post-apocalypse. Plus, we also occasionally have strokes on the show. So tune in for that too. You never know.
We call them strongs, but yeah, tomatoes motto.
Medical emergencies abound for us. But we do a bunch of stuff. So like later, actually, this is a good segue. Our next episode, we're off this week for the holiday and everything, but next week we start up again. We're doing sci-fi movies. So we're covering Inception versus Total Recall, the original 1990 version.
A really fun episode. I really think you guys will like
it. Although Isaac poses a good question here in the chat. He asked if horror movies are going more towards psychological horror than gore. I would say yes.
I agree 100% yes.
And I think for the betterment, I find more emotional attachment in psychological films, for sure. And I think there's more to digest as opposed to just gore.
Because like gore is scary for just scary sake, whereas psychological is scary because it really plays on like deep-seated fears of people,
Yeah, there's so many directions you can go with it.
Right. And I think that you're 100% right. And I think it should go that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we are excited for next week too, because Inception is such a great film, and we both love it.
Yeah.
But we also really both like Total Recall.
Yes, we did.
And there's so many great Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners in that movie. It's so good. It's so fucking goofy and fun, and it's a blast. So
so funny.
Our entire conceit is just to have fun with these. But I don't know if you want to. I don't know if this is a thing. Yes, we watched the old one. We watched the 1990 Arnold. We didn't watch the Colin Farrell.
No, fuck that one.
I haven't seen it. I don't have an opinion on it. I haven't seen it yet. So, but the original one is so charming. Yes, you're absolutely right. Silver Thunder up in here. Psych horror is way more emotionally engaging than gore. It like sticks with you more.
Yeah, I agree.
It's far easier to for the mind to separate reality from fiction when it comes from gore. Because you're right. I've never personally had my limbs chopped off
Nope.
yet. I mean, it's early in the night, but who knows? Could happen. I live in Los Angeles. So, but psychological horror, it keeps you thinking. It's the stuff that sticks with me the most in terms of genre films. And I like weird shit a lot. I'm a huge David Lynch fan, as I mentioned already, but because you can watch these films and every time you watch them, you get something new out of it. And it kind of fucks with you in a different way each time. And I think that's so much fun and so like emotionally and intellectually engaging.
I'm just waiting for a horror movie to come out that plays on like multiple different deep phobias.
Yeah.
You know, in one. I'm waiting for that to happen. You know, arachnophobia is a big one. Whatever clownophobia is technically called.
We got Arachnophobia, the movie. We got It, the movie.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in one. All of them in one. Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
you got to write it.
I had an idea a long time ago about like somebody getting like, what seems to be like a dream where they get sucked into all these fears. But when they agoraphobia, that's a good one too. Not being able to leave the house.
I have that actually. I barely leave my house.
Like waking up to think, oh, it was all just a dream, and then realizing, seeing something that would be like, wait a minute, that wasn't there before.
Yeah,
but it was in my dream.
Well, it's a great idea. It's one of those things where it's like you have to do it in such eight-legged freaks. You have to do it in such a specific way, and there's a lot of fears like that. I think the horror genre is so interesting. Again, I don't like a lot of like horror films that are straight up, but Snakes on a Plane does count here because I love it and it makes me whole as a human. So yes,
motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
We typically stay away from kind of comedy geared films, mostly because we like to joke around about movies and stuff. And like the last thing we want to do is release a podcast where we're just telling you the jokes that the movie gives
that
you.
Somebody else told you.
Yeah, because that's just watch the movie.
Right.
We have nothing to add to that. Sharknado is fun too, but also kind of like it's kind of one of those self-aware things where it's like they know they're being goofy and they're fun to watch with your friends and have a drink.
Yeah, because we tried to do a comedy episode and it did not work.
Yeah, I think we did. So we're probably going to release this as a bonus episode between seasons. We did try to do a teen comedy episode. Yeah. We have a failed episode that we are still going to release.
We're still going to release. Yeah.
It's still goofy and fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I'm glad you're open to some of these things too. And I know, Dave, I make you watch a lot of weird stuff and a lot of questionable things. We got a lot of feedback on the post-apocalypse episode because of Escape from LA and Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
It's your fault. Yes, and that's a good point too, Silver Thunder, is that comedies are very shallow. And when you strip them down, a lot of the plots there's not a lot of plot. A lot of times it's just like a rough scenario to hang comedy on, and that's fine. And they can be fun to watch. But I feel like I have nothing so much to add to that.
Yes, because the whole thing is, and you pointed this out, Blake, when I'm pretty much in the middle of this episode, or that failed episode, is that what makes some of the stuff that we talk about funny is that they're not aware that it's, when you look at it, it's kind of goofy. Where the comedies are aware that the things they are doing are goofy and funny. Even if it's not the joke, even if the situation is the joke, they're aware of it. So it's like we're kind of just retelling other people's jokes. And that's,
it's not a fun podcast to listen to. Like, hey, do you want to get all these movies jokes told to you by two fucking idiots?
Two dickheads with microphones?
Yeah, exactly. Then boy, we got the show for you. It's like that's not fun. It's gonna be fun for anybody. It's not fun for us either. We realized that halfway through. Do you want to talk about do you want to say what movies we talked about?
Oh yeah. So we did we did Superbad versus Clueless.
Which was
it sounds in theory like, oh, that's a dope fucking idea. And then halfway not to pat our backs, but halfway through halfway through Superbad, I'm like mid-sentence and I'm just like, I don't know if we can do this because I have nothing really to say about half of this shit.
I know Dave's movie. So Dave picked Superbad, and
Project
X. That's a
what
hot take right there. Project X over Superbad.
I've never even heard. What is Project X?
You don't know what Project X is? It's that
No.
it was kind of found footage but it's like about a party. It's like based on an actual event kind of, but it's about this like wild like house party that just like kind of gets out of control. And oh god, I think I saw it once.
Interesting.
Oh, in Australia. Thanks, Jordan. Based on Australian house party. It's wild. It's fun. Superbad, I think, is a classic of the era and of the genre and stuff. Yeah. But man, when we started talking about it, we did not get too far into it.
No,
I was like,
we couldn't.
My notes were like a paragraph of like, this is funny or this, remember this? Because we were in high school when Superbad came out. I was like a senior in high school.
Yeah, it was super relatable.
Yeah, but I did have a lot to say about Clueless, because we were pretty removed from high school in the 90s. So
so we were able to get through that one, but I think we are going to release it as a bonus episode. Has a very different Thunderdome segment. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I do not remember Project X that well, but yeah, you're right. It was a mockumentary style. Because I don't remember the plot at all, but I guess there probably is none.
Oh, there we go. Jordan put in the
3 high school seniors throw a birthday party to make a name for themselves. The night progresses, things spiral out of control as word of the party spreads. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
That is interesting.
Okay, Silver Thunder. Okay, so the way our show is, for anybody who hasn't listened, Silver Thunder included, our podcast is structured in a way that we have our intro. We talk for roughly about a half hour about the first movie. Then we talk for roughly about a half hour about the second movie. And then, about 20 minutes. And then we have our Thunderdome segment where basically Blake and I have decided on 5 points per genre that we're talking about, which makes that genre movie a great movie in its genre. So then we kind of battle it out, movie versus movie.
For instance, like we think like action movies should have, good action. They should have, a big storyline that affects a lot of people, those kind of like certain things that make a genre movie, that specific genre. And we take the movie. So I'll pick a movie. Dave picks a movie. We each watch them. We each talk about them. And then we battle them based on those things we've decided in our Thunderdome segment. And then we have what's called a segment called the finish line, where we decide. And it's not always the movies that we chose.
Right.
No spoilers, but I've chosen against my own movies.
Same.
Dave chose against his movies before. And sometimes when we disagree, we have to call up somebody. Yeah, we essentially rank both films against the
1 and
points.
2, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's meaningless as fuck. The entire idea is to just have fun. But we'll disagree on stuff. And in this last episode, we disagreed. And so what we have an extra segment called the tiebreaker. Well, we'll call somebody on the phone and have them weigh in. Taylor, if Taylor's still in the chat here, Taylor was a tiebreaker on an episode.
He was, yes.
Which is a really fun episode. It's one of my favorite episodes this season. But yeah, it's good.
It was good. He put us through a journey on his decision, and I first thought that he sided with my movie, and then
listen, so I don't know if you want to talk about specifically. I don't know if we can spoil, like we can talk about what movies we talk about or what genres we talk about for the rest of the season. So we get into sci-fi next episode.
Yeah, so next episode on Monday, this coming Monday, is sci-fi. So it's like we said earlier, Inception versus Total Recall. Then the Monday following is alien invasion horror movies, because there are alien invasion movies. And then there's like alien invasion action movies, for instance, Independence Day. But then there's alien invasion horror. So we're doing alien invasion horror, A Quiet Place versus Signs.
Yes.
And then the following week we're doing monster movies. And we're doing Godzilla King of the Monsters versus Cloverfield.
Yes.
And then to cap up the Quiet Place versus Signs, Isaac.
2002 Signs. Taylor, thanks for being on.
And then to end the season finale is found footage horror and we're doing Paranormal Activity versus the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. So yeah, the Paranormal Activity versus the Blair Witch Project is a really fun episode. We both had some thoughts.
We both had some thoughts
on these movies for sure. Wait, so Isaac suggested, oh, Mom, don't call out Mel. Wendy, don't call out Mel.
Don't let us go down this fucking.
I don't want to talk about this. That's
we
actually
both have
pretty.
Thoughts.
You know what we should do? So Isaac in the chat here has said Aliens versus Predator for a movie, but not the movie AVP. But we should do a special episode where we talk about the original Alien, we talk about the original Predator, and then we talk about Alien versus Predator. It's gonna be a 3-hour episode that is awful from start to finish.
Yeah, probably. Taylor, I can't wait till you hear that episode. It's a really good one.
Yeah, it's fun. We had a good time. There's anger, there was frustration, there's so feelings. Feelings abound about movies.
Oh, ridiculous.
More than they realistically probably should.
Right.
But
Insanity.
no, it's fun. I know that is $1 million idea. I'm just saying. Thank you, Taylor. Somebody, you're the person who I did not pay a lot of money to show up in here and just agree with me for the entire stream. That's definitely not what happened, for sure. That's actually a good point. Silver Thunder said, have we considered doing an episode comparing not whole movies but characters? And so we kind of do that in a way. So in our Thunderdome segment, we'll pull out, like, there's certain things where certain movies, they have to have a specific kind of character, like a specific kind of like leading man character or whatever. We compare those things for sure. So we do talk about like those different facets of character, not just plot or things, but
for instance, Taylor.
So that's a really fun idea.
But for instance, when we talk about like action movies, our very first episode, one of the plot points, or one of the Thunderdome points, was rugged main character. So we do talk about in the Thunderdome the two main characters. We do compare the two main characters, but in terms
if you can actually compare Dominic Toretto to Keanu Reeves's Jack Traven, of Speed.
Right. So but like when your example there, Silver Thunder, best sci-fi villains or best action protagonist, that's not something that we have ever thought about. I don't personally know if that could take up a whole episode. I'm sure
we do talk about that stuff.
We do talk about it, like in like usually our Thunderdome segments, but that could be like a cool like bonus content, mid-season or season break kind of thing that we could do on one of these streams for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that could be fun too. Yeah, that's actually a good idea, because we're always looking for things to talk about too, like on our streams and everything like that as well. But what I am actually really looking forward to is Dave and I, like in our off seasons, we're gonna have like different bonus episodes and stuff, very specific, where we can kind of break our rules a little bit.
Yes.
And so this season between 1 and 2, we're not doing any, but starting between season 2 and 3, it's gonna be Dave's birthday. And he's going to be able to put me through whatever 2 fucking movies he wants to ruin my life with for that. And then next July, I'll be able to put Dave through whatever fucking weird shit I want to. And I can't wait. I really can't wait, because you're going to regret ever doing this podcast with me.
Probably, but that's fine, because I have my birthday episodes. So.
Oh, question for you, Jordan. Mall Cop versus Mall Rats. I love Mall Rats. What is Mall Cop? Are you talking about
Paul Blart?
Paul Blart, yep.
Paul Blart versus Mall Rats. 2 comparable films for sure.
Great.
There's a mall.
There's
what else do you
mall
need?
is in the title. Yeah, it makes sense.
So so Silver Thunder, the TV shows, the only issue with that is because they're so much longer than movies, we could never really give like a full, this show is versus this show, or this show is really good, because we wouldn't have enough time to talk about an entire
we could
series.
talk about them in the abstract.
Yeah,
I think for sure,
yes.
because people have also come on too and been like, oh, you have to do all the Harry Potter films versus all the Lord of the Rings films, and I was
I've
like,
had that multiple times.
yeah,
I've had that multiple times.
Yeah. Hey, that's actually a good idea too, Isaac, to dedicating partially the streams to shows, because I do watch a decent amount of shows.
Somebody recently suggested that we should do Lord of the Rings versus Harry Potter versus Star Wars.
And it's like, how much do I hate myself?
Oh God! Like, are people really going to listen to a 14-hour episode?
Break down the minutia of of like 15-year-old movies that nobody like. Well, I guess people care about them, but still.
I mean, each of them have close to 10 fucking movies in their series.
Oh God!
So like, listen, we would have to do like talking about the series in the abstract. We would not be able to get into any minutia at all because it's fucking what?
Yeah. Yeah. See, I agree. Harry Potter versus Star Wars, I think, would make more sense to me. Lord of the Rings is kind of its own thing.
Although, listen, that actually reminds me. Thank you, Silver Thunder. I was gonna say
exactly.
I saw there's a TikTok where somebody's like talking about how Harry Potter is so great. It's it's Star Wars with shittier lightsabers.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I may like the Harry Potter stuff a little bit better than Star Wars. I'm not gonna lie.
Get out.
Fuck off.
Get out. Star Wars, you can't beat lightsabers.
But what? I mean, whatever. They're cool, I guess. But like wands, they can do a multitude of things. They can turn people into animals.
Well, listen, I don't.
Lightsabers can't do that.
Listen, but you can force choke whoever's trying to do their fucking spell, and they can't finish their spell, and it's game over.
Okay, this might be and not necessarily a hot take, but people might come for me for this. Listen, I've seen the original Star Wars trilogy. I saw episode 1. My Wendy took us to see episode 1 in 1999, and then I saw episode 2.
Bye, Taylor. Thank you for getting on. We love you.
Love you. Bye. And then I never saw Revenge of the Sith. I never saw the third one because I just didn't care. And so by the time the new ones came out, I saw the first one, the 2015 one in theaters. And then I saw the second one at home. And then I never saw the third one, like episode 9. And so there's like, it's kind of a trend with me. I just can't, I don't know. It doesn't capture my attention.
Well, what's funny is that like I was a huge Harry Potter fan, like reading the books when I was in whatever grade I was in. But I stopped after like in the middle of I stopped in the middle of the 4th book.
Oh, really?
And I haven't read any other book.
Okay.
And I have seen, I think we watched a Harry Potter movie on tour once.
It's because of the Star Wars thing. Okay, Taylor's turned on me. I get it. I mean, whatever. He's not wrong. I'm a.
he was fucking around. He's like, I'm leaving.
I can't tell. And that's why I love Taylor.
He's still here.
I can't tell if he's fucking around with me or not.
But no, I don't think it doesn't engage me at all, Harry Potter.
Interesting. Okay, well, maybe that would be fun to do then, since we have opposite.
If we do it, we should do a Star Wars. We'd have to limit the scope. We'd have to do the original, like episodes 1 through whatever.
Yeah.
Watch. Okay. I don't have to fucking have time. Watch them all, and then do like an overall recap of the whole series.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then same thing with Harry Potter, and don't do none of the series. No Mandalorian, no Obi-Wan, none of that.
But here's the thing: I would like Star Wars. I would enjoy the Star Wars more stuff. If like Silver Thunder has a really great point in the chat. Like Disney has resurrected Star Wars content, absolutely, and they've just 100%. Shoved it down our fucking throats. Like whether anybody asked for this or not, you're getting it. And I really do enjoy The Mandalorian. I didn't say that. I really enjoy it. I did not see Rogue One. Rip.
I have heard nothing but great things about Obi-Wan, by the way.
Okay, I haven't hopped into it yet. It's okay. Shit, Isaac can vouch for that too. That's 2 people. So I'm gonna have to watch Rogue One.
I did really like that movie. I did really like that
Okay.
movie. But here's my question. Okay. Yeah. And Silver Thunder, Isaac, both you guys, Taylor, if you're still in the chat, you can chime in here. Okay. Is Rogue One, is that part of the whole 9 core movies? Like, it's technically part of the story, but would we have to watch that in the Star Wars v Harry Potter? Yeah, I agree. Silver Thunder there.
Oh wow. Okay.
I have seen some of the scenes in Obi-Wan, that are like between the two, like on TikTok, and then I'll watch them on.
Get it first on TikTok,
yeah.
and then
But yeah. So listen, they're kind of disagreeing there, but I would say it. Yeah, Isaac, I agree that it's the most important story. However, it is a side story.
Okay.
It does not have the main characters, other than I think Darth Vader has a like on appearance in it.
Okay. Well, I saw the thing. There's a couple interviews with what's his name? Oh geez, help me. Who played Darth Vader in the 1 through 3?
Oh yeah,
not
yeah,
1 through 3,
Hayden
but
Christensen.
2 and 3. Hayden Christensen. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I saw that he came back and there's like a big like scene that they did together. I've seen like little bits and pieces about it, but I've not taken a dive into the series yet.
Well, okay, so Isaac's saying Rogue One is how the entire reason the series exists. But my question is this: so it takes place in between 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. It takes place in the middle.
Okay.
So while it is like it kind of fills the gap, I agree with Silver Thunder here. I don't think that it's part of the core 9 movies. Like, I don't think we have to watch it.
Okay.
Because it does fill in a lot of gaps. It explains why certain things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if it never got made, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Immediately preceding episode 4. Okay, interesting. I know there's a lot of lore. My buddy Josh, when all the episodes 7, 8, and 9 were coming out, I was getting like the play-by-play of his thoughts, and he really liked The Last Jedi, and then he came around and he's like, I fucking hate it. And then it's like, well, I kind of like it. I like these certain things. So I was getting his like thoughts on this at all the time, and I kept falling asleep during The Last Jedi.
Oh shit, really?
And I don't think I've made it through the whole thing. I watch a lot of movies, but I could not keep my fucking eyes awake for that movie.
Yeah, Isaac, Taylor, I agree with you. Rogue One is better than some of the prequels. I would rather watch it too. But the thing is, in the concept of our show, I don't think that movie would be necessary. Personally,
got it. That would be a long ass episode.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. We'd have to listen. We'd have to watch all fucking 9 Star Wars and all 8 Harry Potters. It would take a month to produce.
It's dude, we'd have to both quit our jobs,
right,
to be able to produce this in
we can do this eventually when we have a Patreon. That's when we'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you all keep showing up and keep downloading our episodes,
right.
Maybe we'll be able to get to that.
Yeah, maybe day. Eventually we'll do that. But listen, we do hear it like a lot, and I think that could be in the cards for our show eventually. I
for sure. I mean, if enough people want to hear my shitty takes on things I don't really understand, then yeah, no, I got you covered. I'm gonna be not liked probably. Whatever. I'm fine with certain things. I just think the last trilogy, again, I didn't see the very last movie. I didn't see episode 9, but it's like, it was fun. I thought, whatever. I thought 7 was fun and I enjoyed it in the movie. I know it was like a rehash, I guess, of A New Hope. People were upset about it, but I straight up could not get through The Last Jedi. Silver Thunder, no, we haven't done war movies yet. We did talk about this though, because there could be some fun ones, but that hasn't been on the docket yet. There's a lot of them. Do you have any recommendations? What's your favorite war movie?
So I mean, listen. Obviously, we would have to do Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, I mean that's fair. That's totally fair.
But We Were Soldiers. When did that come out?
I'm gonna write these down. Yeah, I don't know if you explain that too. Usually we do films that are
at least a decade apart.
Yeah, they're separated by a decade. A decade is enough to Jordan. I do know your thoughts on Saving Private Ryan and what he wants to go against it. But yeah, we do 10 years apart because typically, especially genre movies, they kind of go through cycles that are roughly 10 years. And so we like to talk things that are 10 years apart. It kind of gives a different perspective on the genre. And I think, in my opinion, and I think in Dave's opinion.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan and We Were Soldiers is too close together. It's only 4 years apart.
In terms of Tom Hanks versus Mel Gibson, Taylor, Tom Hanks all the way.
Oh,
Hanks
100%.
are bust.
Hanks are bust. Speaking
Tom Hanks
of bust,
and I,
my fucking bladder is about to. So Jordan, if you wouldn't mind chiming in again,
you bust that. Let me tell you all about a little story called Tom Hanks and I have the same birthday. That was the story.
That lasted forever.
It was good stuff. Oh, dude. Okay. So Silver Thunder, we were talking about Apocalypse Now literally yesterday. Apocalypse Now is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I love it. And I just watched the Redux version in January for the first time. It's like 3.5 hours long, and it's horrifying. That's actually a really, really good idea. We Were Soldiers in Apocalypse Now. Man, what a nightmare of a movie. I've never seen We Were Soldiers before, so I'm interested. But Apocalypse Now I could talk about forever.
Apocalypse Now was good on surround sound, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's the I think, Jordan, when we were kids, I think mom and dad rented it, they like bought that like a 5.1 little system, it's like, you got to hear this in surround sound.
It's great. Have real PTSD here.
Yeah, we want you to actually have Vietnam flashbacks, even though you're born in the early 90s. It worked. I do.
Confirmed.
Have you seen that movie in a while, Jordan?
I watch clips of movies. I typically don't have time to watch full movies. But fair. I did watch it on YouTube. Probably about 20 minutes worth of it.
Okay. There's a really great YouTube series actually that breaks down the behind the scenes stuff by this guy called Cinema Tyler on YouTube. It's really great. And Taylor got his wish. Dave is gone. But it's really great. It breaks down a lot of stuff and the people who were in it and how much they shot and how much of a horrible nightmare it was to actually film. Isaac, that's a good recommendation. Indian in the Cupboard versus Small Soldiers. Do you remember Indian in the Cupboard, Jordan?
Oh, absolutely.
I love that movie.
I like the VHS more than I like the movie.
Because it had a little Indian inside it too. A little like a figurine guy and a little key. Yes, I recall. Yes, thank you for posting that. If anybody's interested in seeing the Apocalypse Now series, check out this YouTube. It's really, really good and really well researched. I highly recommend. But yeah, it is one of those movies though where there's some like, it's not fun at any point, but there's some like funny-ish things in it, and then it just turns into this horrible fucking nightmare. Like the longer you go with it, and you've seen, if you remember, Mom Wendy still has a little Indian. I'm glad she's still in the chat because I watched Apocalypse Now Redux with Wendy.
American.
Little Native American. Yes, Mom, come on, get on board.
Jeez.
Yeah, Isaac. Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to be. If you are of Native American descent, tell me what you would be like to be referred to as, because I am not the authority on that.
I sure hope not.
Cleveland Guardian in the cupboard.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness.
The correct answer here. The absolute correct answer. Oh, so what have you seen lately, Jordan? What clips have you seen lately?
Oh my gosh, I haven't watched a movie in a while. only watched Stranger Things just to get it over with.
Stranger Things is great. I like the new season.
I had to
if
watch
we're talking
4
TV.
hours worth of today just to finish
Hey,
it.
I'm back.
Just to finish. Hey, what's up? We're hopping in a little bit to TV. Have you seen any of the Stranger Things, the new season?
I
no
have
spoilers.
not. I have only seen, I believe, most of the first season and not anything else.
Okay, the first season is probably my favorite, but I'd say this new season is oh dude, yeah, the new season has been great. The new season is my second favorite season.
Really?
For sure, since the first one. I didn't give a fuck about it. I literally, the new one came out, I didn't care, and then I caught COVID and was stuck in bed for a minute, and I was like, well, guess I'm watching Stranger Things.
Listen,
and it was great. Yeah, Dodie Hawk in the chat too.
I'm looking at
the first.
I'm looking at the chat, and I have to say, I don't want to touch on it too much, but Silver Thunder.
We may do a stream about Stranger Things with Silver Thunder. That sounds like a fucking blast.
But Godfather versus Goodfellas, he said, and
hey,
I have to say, as an Italian, it's sacrilegious to be saying what I'm about to say. I stopped watching The Godfather about an hour in.
It's a tedious film.
I couldn't get through it, dude. But listen, speaking of Stranger Things, I really do want to like get back into it. I mean, you know who I watched it with, so it's been hard for me to even think about it.
Right.
But like I've seen nothing but great things about it. So I'm like, all right.
Dude, it's true, and as they're saying in the chat, like there's a lot of aspects of Stranger Things that have gone beyond sci-fi, and it's expanded. They've expanded the world, especially in this new season, in a way that it doesn't feel as kind of nostalgia baity or like, hey, remember this? Remember the 80s? It takes what it's done and like does its own thing with it again, and incorporates a lot of characters and gives everybody something to actually do. And I think it's really, really brilliant and really fun. And it reinvigorated my interest in Stranger Things, because I straight up did not give a fuck about it. But it came out right when I got COVID, and I was like, I guess I'm watching this. And by the end of the first episode, I was like, holy shit, there's some incredible horror in this, like incredible horror that I really enjoyed, and the characters are perfect.
Yeah, I definitely have seen some things like on TikTok that seem very horror-esque. So
yeah. Okay, well, dude, Silver Thunder, we may have to do a stream about Stranger Things with him. So Dave, you need to catch up, because I want to hear his perspective to the 11 storyline. And I want a deep dive in this.
Oh, Lord.
I'm fucking here for this.
How many seasons are there?
4.
Fuck, I've literally only seen 1 season.
Start watching, dog.
When? When am I gonna do it?
You can stream and watch, right? Jesus. Probably at the same time.
Ugh, Lord.
Yeah, it's really well done, and it's of season. Oh, okay. He's binged the shit out of it.
Listen,
right on.
I really wish I could. I really wish I had the time, but you hadn't gotten the chat yet, Silver Thunder, but I work 60 hours a week on my day job, and then 20 to 30 hours a week working on this podcast.
I appreciate his encouragement. You can do it, Dave.
I appreciate it too. I cannot. It's not happening.
I believe in you.
I have, at this point, I watched 1 episode of The Boys last night, and I'm like, fuck, I have to go to bed.
Dude, yeah, it's I'm flying back to Ohio to watch more Stranger Things with Silver Thunder and Jordan. Dude, I highly recommend checking out. It's fun. It's a really, really fun time, and actually some good horror, which I was not expecting. It caught me off guard.
Lord.
Yeah, so get on board. Just saying. As somebody who also is jaded to horror, as we've already previously established on some of the stuff, it got me a couple times unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So they set up great atmosphere too, and they finally in the season just actually gives everybody something to do. They give all the characters something to do. There's a point and purpose, and it's great. It's incredible plotting and utilization of characters.
Wow. Like,
okay.
I definitely want to. I just
Yeah, if you get around to it, for sure. If not, you're fired. Silver Thunder's on, and we're gonna stream about Stranger Things.
Totally. Yeah. First prize Stranger Things episode.
First prize Thunder. Without Dave. So wait, have you seen? I've never seen The Boys. I have not taken a dive into this yet. I've heard it's great. Everybody I've ever talked to about it loves it. How far have you gotten in it?
I have 2 episodes left in season 2 that I haven't watched yet, and then all of season 3 I haven't watched yet, but it's fantastic, and they keep adding more and more people, like famous people into the show, like as characters. Like Jensen Ackles he's in it now from Supernatural.
It's an Amazon show, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's his name? Jeffrey Morgan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, whatever his name is, from The Walking Dead. He is in talks to be on that show for next season.
No shit.
Yeah, so we'll see if that happens, but it's very good. It's a awesome take. It's like the reality of if we had superheroes.
Yeah, which sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it is a fucking nightmare because they're just humans who have superheroes or superpowers. Yeah. So you've got like addicts, you've got weird sex things going on, you've got god complexes. It's insane. It's so good, and it's very gory.
Oh, that's great. Oh, what? Okay, getting the hookup here. So I don't know what you're talking about from Breaking Bad. Dave may have to enlighten me, but
I don't know either.
But we can stream Prime Video on Twitch legally. Oh, that's right. They do. When we first signed up for Twitch, it's like, oh, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can get like subs for free or something like that. I don't know how the internet works. Jordan's been helping us.
Jordan has been helping us.
Straight up, big shout out to Jordan, actually, who's like been the one to set up these streams and stuff for us and like illuminate us. He's our technical advisor for the podcast, and he helps us a ton. So
absolutely,
we appreciate him deeply. And cool, good to know. Prime users, we can stream stuff. Cool. Well, hell, maybe we'll have to do that. We have to have like a watch party with something.
Oh yeah, I think we should absolutely do a watch party or something.
Dude, that would be super sick. Yeah. So I was on the stream. So, and anybody listening, if they want a really fun stream to watch, you have to remind us, Silver Thunder, when your stream schedule is. I think it's Wednesday nights. But we hopped on, and I think Jordan like gifted him a bunch of subs or something like that. And so Silver Thunder has this camera in his beer fridge, and it cuts to, and AC/DC starts playing, and when he hits like a certain goal on his channel, and it'll shock out a beer, and it's beautiful. So yeah, there's the link in the chat. Yeah. Go follow. It's a fun time. I really had a good time.
Crazy.
But yeah, we definitely should do that. So if there's anybody, yes sir, if there's anybody, check his stream schedule. It's in the chat here. But if anybody has some good Prime Prime movies or content that they want to have a watch party with us, preferably something goofy and fun, we're always down to watch something on stream and hang out.
So I think I hate to be Mr. Debbie Downer here, but I do have to start wrapping this up because I have to get ready for bed. I gotta fucking go back to work tomorrow morning.
I gotta prep for a gig tomorrow myself, but this has been fun.
This has been incredible.
Thank you. There's been so many people who've been in here and hanging out with us, and I've had a really good time. So
like seriously, Isaac, thank you. Josh, thank you. Silver Thunder, thank you.
Yes, Wendy,
Alex, Wendy,
Jordan,
Alex. You guys have been so awesome, and we really appreciate you being in here with us. So
yeah. So again, next week we have an episode coming out Monday. It's sci-fi movies. We're talking Inception versus Total Recall, and it's gonna be a blast. Hit us up on our socials. We're at First Prize Pod, and yeah, we have a bunch more content. So let us know. We're gonna be trying to stream every week.
Yes.
Tuesdays mostly. I think Wednesdays is when we're gonna try Wednesdays and stuff, but Tuesdays somewhere in the midweek, depending on our jobs.
Right.
But check our socials. We'll let you know our stream schedule, and we're just here to hang out. So come, bring your hot takes, and let us know what you think, and we're happy to talk about anything and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, if we're on our podcast is on every platform, and that's the main point for us to be streaming and talking about movies. That's our main thing that we love to do. So it's everywhere every major outlet you could get a podcast. We do have a website too, freshpressfilms.com. In case you forget anything, it's literally our name.com. So
check it out.
Yeah, check it out if you want. We appreciate you guys. We will definitely let you know early next week, probably by Sunday. We'll let everybody know on our social medias when we'll be streaming that week, whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Thursday. It just depends.
Yeah, but as Isaac said in the chat too, hit the bell on Twitch and you can get notifications when we do go live.
Exactly.
It'll be midweek.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's fun. We don't do we just kind of do this for free. We do this for fun because we love movies. But if you do want to help us out, feel free to spread the word, tell people about it. If you have Apple, get on Apple Podcasts, give us a good rating and a review.
Yes, please.
All that stuff helps. So we really appreciate everybody. And hopefully we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
We'll have more bad takes about things you like.
100%.
It's gonna be a horrible 100%. Nightmare. Can't wait to see you there.
Agreed. So yeah, thank you guys again. We love you. And
good night. Sleep
good
well.
night.
Have Vietnam flashbacks.